Chapter 21, The Windy Catfight. I wanted to do an original episode centered mostly around Glori and her rival Carol Pingree. But this will be an action-packed episode. Me, Lincoln and Lily were playing video games in the living room and Very and Laney were reading books when the door flew open and in came Glori, crying her eyes out. Me, Lincoln and Lily grow concerned. Me, Glori, what's wrong? Lincoln, Glori, are you alright? Glori, no, I'm not alright. Just leave me alone. She runs up to her room crying hard. Me, I wonder what happened. Woody Woodpecker came in. Woody, JD. I saw Glori running home as she was crying. What has her so upset? Me, I don't know, Woody. But we got to find out. We went upstairs and found Laney, Luna, Luin, Lynn, Lucy, Lana and Lola and Lisa standing in the hallway. Me, what's going on, girls? Luna, Glori and Carol had a nasty fight and Glori got hurt bad. Me, Carol did this to her. What is wrong with that girl? Woody, who's Carol? Very, her name is Carol Pingree and she and Glori hate each other with a terrible vendetta. Lola, Glori and Carol used to be best friends a while back. Lana, but they started showing an extremely fierce rivalry about 2 years ago. Me, I go to school with Glori and Carol and I've seen them both fight intensely. It gets really fierce. Carol has been better than Glori at everything. Woody, oh man. That's not a rivalry. That's a violent feud. Laney, yeah. But Glori looks like she's been mugged. Me, let us go talk to her. Me, Very, Lincoln, Laney, Lily and Woody open the door to Glori and Lenny's room. Very, Glori. Are you alright? Glori was still crying. Lincoln, we were told everything and you can't let this go. Me, Glori, you can't let Carol get away with hurting you like this. Glori, crying, no matter what I do, Carol will always be better than me at everything. Me, Very and Lincoln sit with her on her bed and Woody, Laney and Lily sit on the floor. Very, Glori, you know that's not true. Lincoln, yeah, Glori. You're great at lots of things. We see that Glori has some bruises and cuts and a black eye. Very, these injuries are bad. I can't believe Carol did all this to you. Very starts healing Glori. Lily, she went from rival to a heartless sociopath. Lincoln, what's a sociopath? Me, it's someone that can't feel empathy, remorse, or guilt. They do terrible things and don't care who it hurts. Lincoln, that's terrible. Very, Glori, you are the strongest person in this household both physically and mentally. Laney, also there's 5 things you have that Carol never will have. Glori, calms down like what? Lincoln, 1, you've got 10 sisters and 1 brother that are always here for you. Me, Carol doesn't have any siblings. Very, 2, you've got a lot of best friends and a great boyfriend. Lincoln, Bobby is like my big brother too. Me, Carol only has popularity and that doesn't give you true friendship. Laney, 3, you also have superpowers like me, Lily, JD and Very. Woody, whoa. I didn't know you have superpowers. Lily, it's a long story, Woody. Me, Carol doesn't even know what Glori is really capable of with superpowers. Lily, 4, you have the love and support of everyone who cares about you. Me, Carol will never experience what true love is all about. Very, and a true friend never hurts another friend, and by the extent of these injuries I can tell that this was personal. Me, yeah. And the most powerful thing she'll never have is the drive and determination to protect everyone who they feel is precious to them. Laney, that's right. A heart of darkness can never understand true love, friendship, compassion, or remorse. Glori feels better and decides that enough was enough. Glori, you're right, guys. I've been so worried about what I could be best at that I stopped believing in myself. Now I want to show Carol that I am strong and better at everything than her. Me, that's the spirit, Lori. Laney, show her what you're made of. Lincoln, we're with you all the way. Lori then had eyes of determination. Lori, let's show that Viper Carol that I am stronger than her. In the park the next day, Carol was sitting on a park bench quite proud of herself for how she thrashed Lori. When she heard Lori call out to her, Lori, Carol. Carol saw Lori and she was ready to fight. Carol, well. Hello Lori. Haven't had enough I see. Lori, you've humiliated me for the last time. I will now prove to you that I am stronger and better than you. Carol, you're right. I have always been better than you. Lori, true, but I have something that you don't. Carol, oh yeah? What? Lori, this. Lori spread her blue angel wings and had many tornadoes in her hands. Carol, gasped Lori, what happened to you? Lori, I've been given a gift and I have another thing you'll never have. Carol, what? Me, Very, Laney, Lincoln, Lily and Woody arrive. Me, you'll never have true friendship. Very, or true love. Lincoln, or brothers and sisters. Laney, or true compassion. Laney then floats in the air and vines grow from her hand and become a baton. Lily, or a loving family and the drive and determination to protect everyone you love. Lily spreads her water wings and water spirals around her arms. Woody, all you care about is no one but yourself, and that is the sign of a truly worthless human being. Lori, get ready Carol. It's payback time. Carol was enraged and she charged at Lori intending to kill her. But Lori punched her in the face and threw a ball of wind at her. It blew her into a nearby tree and she hit it, and as she got up, Laney called a bunch of squirrels, chipmunks, and rabbits and they threw nuts and rocks at Carol. Laney then called a round of robins and they went after Carol like a bunch of dive bombers and pecked her. Laney quickly called a bunch of skunks and they sprayed Carol and she screamed so loud that it could be heard all across the galaxy as the scene transitioned out of the Milky Way. It went back to the fight. Carol was drenched in skunk oil. Very, here, let me clean you up. Very then fired a torrent of water that smelled like raw sewage and it drenched Carol. Laney entangled Carol in some poison ivy vines and Carol was itching like crazy. Chrysanthemum flowers grew on the vines and Carol saw them. Carol, I'm allergic to chrysanthemums. Sneezing uncontrollably. Laney let go and Lori fired a blast of Arctic wind at Carol and Lily fired a torrent of glowing blue water and it froze Carol in a big block of glowing blue ice. Me, now that is a frozen defeat. Rimshot Lori, Very, Lincoln, Laney, Lily, and Woody laughed. Lincoln, boy, we sure showed her. Me, we sure did buddy. Woody pecked the ice block and cracked it open and freed Carol and she was shivering. Carol, I hate you all. Lori, love is stronger than hate Carol. Lincoln, you've brought all this on yourself Carol. Me, you've had this coming for a long time Carol. Lori is a much better person than you ever will be. Very, good riddance to bad rubbish. Lori, goodbye Carol Pingree. Never come near me and my family again. A woman then came to the site of the fight and it was my teacher Mrs. Harrington. Me, Mrs. Harrington. Small world huh? Mrs. Harrington, indeed JD. I saw and heard everything. You all were fantastic. Lori, I'm very sorry. Carol cheated in the ranks for Homecoming Queen and I hereby name you Homecoming Queen of the Year. Lori, thank you Mrs. Harrington. Mrs. Harrington, you're welcome. As for you Carol, you are going to be in a lot of trouble when school starts next Monday. Go to the principal's office at the start of school. Carol, defeated yes, Mrs. Harrington. Mrs. Harrington, I'll see you next week JD, Very, and Lori. Me, okay, Mrs. Harrington. Test first thing tomorrow, right? Mrs. Harrington, you got it? But Lori, How did you get those wind powers? Laney, Glori got them because of the winds of Gao, the wind spirit from Iroquois myth. Lincoln, me and my family are 40% Iroquois in our ancestry. Mrs. Harrington gasped. Mrs. Harrington, so the legend is real. I've heard of the winds of Gao from members of my tribe. Very, I didn't know you're an Iroquois, Mrs. Harrington. Me neither. Mrs. Harrington, yes. My people have lots of history. Glori, you have been given a great gift and may you have the blessings, strength, and knowledge of our people. Glori, thanks Mrs. Harrington. See you next week. Very, same here, Mrs. Harrington. Me, very, Glori, Lincoln, Laney, Lily, and Woody left the park and went back home. As we sat down at dinner, and Glori explained what happened with Carol. Glori, and then Carol got sent to the principal's office first thing on Monday and Mrs. Harrington knew about the legend of the winds of Gao and gave me the blessings of the Iroquois. Lynn Sr., well it sounds like Carol got what's coming to her. Me, yeah. Lynn, you've heard of that saying cheaters never prosper, right? Lynn, I've known that saying for a long time, JD. I may love sports but I never cheat. Very, that's good. Glori, JD, very, Lincoln, Laney, Lily, Woody, I can't thank you enough for everything you did for me. Me, it's no problem, Glori. That's what friends and siblings do. They look out for each other. Laney, you would have done the same for us, Glori. Woody, friends are always there when you need them. Woody then did his trademark laugh. Lily, you said it, Woody. Rita, it sounds like you've all had quite an inspirational day. Me, we sure did, Ms. Rita. The screen irised in. Carol Pingree was suspended from school for 3 weeks and was banned from all social media websites. She was also ordered to do some community service. The end. Another fanfiction completed. I noticed that Carol Pingree had not been getting much attention in the show, so I decided to do an original episode where Glori gets retribution on her for being better than her. I wanted to make it an action-packed fight episode loaded with lots of inspiration. The moral of this story is that friends and brothers and sisters are always there to help you no matter what. Chapter 22, Toads and Tiaras. It starts with Lincoln and Lola practicing for something. Lola is showing her posture. Lincoln, on a megaphone, good. And turn. Lola turns to the viewers. And wave. Lola waves to the viewers. More teeth. Lola gives an oversized grin. Less teeth. Lola turns it down a bit with a nice pearly white smile. Excellent. Keep it up. Wearing a headband that says Go Lola on it. Me and Very walk to the loud house and we see Lincoln helping Lola. Me, hey, Lincoln. Lincoln, hey J.D, Very. You might be wondering why I'm helping Lola practice for a beauty contest. Well, tomorrow is the Little Miss Prim and Perfect pageant, and the winner gets the greatest prize ever, 2 season passes to Dairyland Amusement Park. That's one for Lola and one for Coach. I've been working my butt off all week to make sure she wins. A montage shows Lincoln prepping up Lola. First, he applies blush onto her face. Lola, achoo. Her sneeze gets glitter all over Lincoln. Second, she spits out her 2 front teeth retainer for Lincoln to brush. Lincoln, grossed out, oh, God. He starts brushing. Third, he irons her dress with his left hand, brushes her hair with his right, and paints her nails with his right foot as she lays in bed in a robe, with cucumbers on her eyes and white bunny slippers. End montage. Lincoln uses a lint catcher as Lola poses. Lincoln, it's been a long, hard road. But once we get to Dairyland, it'll all be worth it. Me, boy, it sounds like you've been busy. Very, I have a feeling that it will all pay off. Me, I've never been to Dairyland before. It sounds like a really fun place. Very, me neither. A frog passes by, and Lana is chasing it. Lana, get back here, hops. Lana passes by Lincoln and Lola, unknowingly splashing mud onto them. Lincoln quickly raises Lola to prevent her from getting dirty, causing him to get covered completely in mud. He lowers Lola, as she looks back at Lincoln. Lincoln, Lana, watch out. Do you know how hard it is to steam clean chiffon? Lana, blah 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 blah. Goes back in the house. Lincoln, wiping off the mud and reading a book. Okay, Lola, let's move on to your walk. Remember what Gilda says in his best-selling book, Unlocking Your Inner Pageant Queen, to win the day, you must sashay. Lola, I know how to walk, Lincoln. As she practices her walk, Lincoln notices a loose bottle of hairspray on the ground. Me, uh-oh. Lola steps and slips and the rest of the scene plays in slow motion. Lincoln, no. Tries to save Lola but is too late. Lola lands on the ground with a nasty thud. Me, winces, buh. That's gonna leave a mark. Lola starts crying and Very takes her inside and places her on the sofa. Rita comes into the living rooms and she sees Lola crying. Rita, what happened? Very, Lola slipped after stepping on a can of hairspray and she hit the concrete. Lola, crying in pain, it hurts. Very, what hurts, Lola? Lola, my arm and leg. Very looks at her left arm and right leg and they are purple and swollen. Very, oh yeah. They're broken. This should make the swelling go down. Very used her water powers and made the swelling go down. Me, Ms. Rita, can you go get the first aid kit? Rita, sure. Very, are you a nurse? Very, no, but I want to become one. I've been taking lessons from Lisa. Rita, you definitely know what you're doing. Me, Lisa, can you bring your X-ray machine? Lisa came with her X-ray machine and took a picture of Lola's arm and leg. Lisa looks at the X-ray. It appears to be a hairline fracture in the left ulna of the arm and the right fibula of the leg. She'll have to rest for 3 weeks. Very, thank you, Lisa. Rita comes back with the first aid kit and Very wraps Lola's arm and leg in a cast and takes her up to her room and put her leg in a sling. Very, now you get plenty of rest, Lola. Those bones need to heal. Lola sniffles, thanks Very. Very, anytime, Lola. Me, I know of a good solution. I pull out a special remote control. Me, this is a call buzzer, Lola. Now if you need anything just push this red button. I press it and it makes a shrill buzz. Me, it can be heard anywhere in the house and Mr. Lin, Ms. Rita, or one of your sisters will come to you. Lola, thanks JD. Me, you're welcome, little princess. Lola is now severely injured and resting in bed. Lincoln, okay, minor setback. We can still win this thing. Lola, wake up and smell the hairspray, Lincoln. It's over. Lincoln, desperate, you can't just quit. We worked hard on this. Lola, there will be other pageants, you know. Lincoln, forlorn but not with Dairyland tickets. Lola, Lincoln, I need my beauty rest. As your pal, Gilda Lily would say, I can't recover if you're going to hover. Lincoln is gathering up all of the pageant supplies. Lincoln, I can't believe I learned to French braid for nothing. Me, I'm sorry, Lincoln. Very, but Lola's gonna be okay. Lana picks up the practice tiara. Lana, hey, Lincoln. You done with this? I could use the scrap metal for welding. Lincoln takes a look at Lana, gasps with inspiration, and switches her cap out with the tiara. A heavenly image with 4 comic strip characters as angels tooting horns appears as a choir sings. Choir, hallelujah. Lincoln looks on with hope in his eyes. Lana, why are you looking at me like that? Lincoln, Lana, how would you like a season pass to Dairyland? The same heavenly background appears again with Lana gasping with joy. Choir, hallelujah. Lana, fighting the temptation, don't toy with me, Lincoln. Me, in my head, oh I see what he's gonna do. Lincoln, I'm not. All you have to do is one teensy, tiny, little thing. Lana, desperate, what is it? I'll do anything. Lincoln, you just have to take Lola's place in the Little Miss Prim and Perfect pageant and win. Lana, nauseated, are you kidding me? Bleh. Do you know who you're talking to? Lincoln, determined, someone who's going to love Dairyland's newest ride. Shows a pamphlet of the ride, the milkshaker. It's so fast, you can barf, fly around a loop, and get hit in the face with said barf. Me, whoa. That's like a NASA gravity simulator centrifuge. Lana, giving in, darn you, Lincoln. I am in. Worried with realization, but wait. What if Lola finds out? You know what she's capable of. An image of Lola looking on demonically with hellfire in the background is shown as a satanic cultist choir chants. Me, very, Lincoln and Lana shudder with terror. Me, gulps in terror, she will kill us if she finds out. Lincoln, she won't find out. I promise. They shake on it with Lana getting mud on Lincoln's hand. Lincoln, bleh. First off, we gotta clean you up. Dirt on your face gets you last place. Lincoln sneaks into the twins' room and takes out one of Lola's dresses. She wakes up. Lola, what are you doing with that? Lincoln, nervous, oh, this. Chuckles, just, getting it dry cleaned. You keep healing, sunshine. Lincoln leaves and Lola looks on, still suspicious. Lana is now wearing the dress. Lana, what is this weird sparkly towel? Lincoln, it's called a dress, Lana. Now, hold still while I work my magic. Sprays and combs Lana's hair. Lana, ugh. It smells like princess farts. Me, it's supposed to smell like that, Lana. The spray makes its way over to the twins' room. Lola smells it and heads to the bathroom with a sinister look on her face. She barges in and finds Lincoln with his shirt off and spraying his armpits with the spray. Lincoln, oh, hey, Lola. Your hairspray makes a great deodorant. It really covers up that musky man smell. Lola, leaves? Lincoln and Lana sigh with relief. Very, that was a close one. Lincoln, help me get my arms unstuck. Lana, you're gonna feel some slight discomfort and... Lana rips Lincoln's arms apart from their pits, which makes him scream in agony. Me, winces, oh. Ouch. Very, yikes. Lincoln's room. Laney, Lily, and Woody are with us. Laney, I don't know about this, guys. If Lola finds out, she will destroy us. Woody, yeah, Lola has a fiery temper. Lincoln, don't worry. She won't find out. Time to work on what Gilda Lily calls the 3 W's, walk, wave, and work it. Lana walks and waves with a smile. Lincoln, okay, we're walking, we're waving, but we're just not working it. Lana tries posing attractively, but some tools fall out of her dress. Lincoln, tools in your dress? Seriously? Lana, handyman's code, Lincoln. Always be prepared. Very, that's true. And a good doctor must know exactly what to do as well. Lincoln, you are not a handyman. You are a pageant queen. A snow shovel pours out of Lana's dress and Lincoln looks at her disappointed. Lana, what? It's supposed to snow tonight. Me, she's right. I can feel it. Lincoln face palms. Now they're rehearsing the Q&A portion of the pageant. Lincoln, using a hairbrush for a mic. Lola, what can a 6-year-old do to make the world a better place? Lana, starts scratching her butt. Lincoln, Lana, You can't scratch your butt. Lana, what? It helps me think. Lincoln, well, knock it off. Those who scratch lose the match. The talent portion. Lincoln, okay, talent portion. What chuggot? Lana plays a ditty with her armpit. Me and very laugh. Me, good one Lana. Lincoln, impressive, but I'm gonna pass. Pulls out something from his supplies. How about a ribbon dance? It shows elegance and poise. Lana, reluctant, excuse me while I go barf. Lincoln, Lana, I'm busting my hump trying to turn you into a pageant queen, and all I'm getting is lip. Do you want those Dairyland tickets or not? Lana, okay, you're right. Lincoln, as Gil says, she who gives two dash. Lana, slaps the book out of his hand. I already agreed. A training montage commences. Lincoln performs a perfect ribbon dance, but Lana gets tied up in her ribbon. He teaches her how to curtsy, and she lifts her dress up too high. He shows her how to walk elegantly, and she gets the hang of it but trips and regains her composure. She masters curtsying, the 3 W's, and the ribbon dance. Lincoln is so moved at her improvement and the toys all give her a perfect score. Lincoln, hoo. Lana, look at you. You've done it. You're prim and perfect. Lana, I never thought I'd say it, but this feels pretty good. I don't even mind the sparkly towel. Me, very, Laney, Lily, Woody, Lincoln and Lana, Dairyland, here we come. The next day at the pageant, me, very, Laney, Lily, Woody, Lincoln and Lana arrive and Lana is a little worried about the competition. Lana, whoa. Look at those girls. They're all so clean and sparkly. Very, they are so cute. Lincoln, well, so are you. You're as good as any of them. A cameraman walks by. Me, wow. It's gonna be broadcasted? Neat. Lincoln, I didn't know this was going to be on TV. Good thing we don't get the Princess Channel. Unfortunately, Mr. Loud has just ordered the Princess Channel so that Lola can watch the pageant and is treating her with milk and cookies to make her feel better. Lola, sweetly grateful, thanks for getting me the Princess Channel, Daddy. Lynn Sr., no problem, sweetie. It was either that or the Sports Channel. And who needs that, huh? Walks off lamenting. The pageant starts. Donnie, welcome to the Little Miss Prim and Perfect pageant. I'm your host, Donnie Dufresne. Let's meet America's junior sweethearts. Hailing from Royal Woods, Miss Lola Loud. Lana waves. Lola spits out her milk in shock and gasps. Lola, what is going on? Lana, I'd like to thank my coach and brother, Lincoln. Lincoln waves to her and the camera. Lola, furious Lincoln. I should have known. Lana, and I just want to say it is great to be here. Belches, sorry you were downwind of that, Donnie. Nudges Donnie's arm. Lola, they're ruining me. And they will pay. Lividly limps off to the pageant. Lynn Sr., changing the channel order woo. Sports Channel, here I come. In the audience chairs I sense something. Me, gasp, I sense a disturbance in the force. Very, what is it? Laney, oh no. Has Lola found out? Me, yes, she has. Woody, oh boy. Here comes trouble. Lily, oh no. We got to get Lincoln out of here. Lana has finished up her introduction and heads backstage. Lincoln, Lana, what were you thinking? Remember what Gil says, if you belch on stage, the judges will rage. Lana, Gil actually has a rhyme for that. Lincoln, that's why he's a pageant powerhouse. Now, the evening gown competition is next. If we want to win those tickets, we cannot afford any more slip UPS. Lana nods in agreement. As she performs her evening gown, she steps on a loose floorboard and stops. Lana, whoa. Hang on, everybody. Loose floorboard. Takes out her hammer and nails it back into place. That'll hold. Carry on. Her opponents condescendingly giggle at her handyman skills. Lincoln, Lana. What was that? We talked about the tools. Lana, I couldn't help it. Fixing stuff is what I do. Lincoln, you're supposed to be prim and perfect. Now, do you want to go to Dairyland and get hit in the face with your own barf or not? I know you can do this. The interview is next. Go out there and nail it. Lana takes out her hammer. Not with that. The interview portion. Donnie, Lola, what can 6-year-olds do to eliminate the national debt? Lana, prepares to scratch her butt to think. Lincoln, frantic no, 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 no. Fortunately, Lana controls herself. Lana, plenty, Donnie. Just because we're 6 doesn't mean we can't make a difference. The audience applauds. Just then, Hops hops out of Lana's dress. Lana, oh. Hops. The frog lands on the judge's desk and Lana lunges at him to get him back, causing a ruckus. Lola has made her way to the pageant hall still enraged. Lincoln, Lana, what is the problem? We went over everything in Gil's book, and the companion DVD, and the podcast. How are you still not getting it? Lana, I'm sorry, Lincoln. No matter what I do, I can't be prim and perfect like these girls. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Starts to feel bad about herself to the point where she'll cry. Hops hops on top of her and looks on at Lincoln, ashamed of his behavior and intention. Lincoln realizes his follies. Lincoln, Lana. Wait. There's nothing wrong with you. I'm the one who messed up. I got so caught up in winning those tickets, I turned into Gilda Lily, who, when you stop to think about it, probably needs to get a life. Lana, yeah, but still, why can't I be like them? Me, now's our chance to warn Lincoln. Come on. Me, Very, Laney, Woody and Lily sneak into the backstage. Lincoln, because you're you. You're messy and muddy and keep a lot of reptiles in your pants. But that's what makes you awesome. And I was crazy to try and change you. Lana, hugs her brother in forgiveness. Thanks, Lincoln. Donnie, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Lola Loud and her fabulous ribbon dance. Lana, well, that's me. I'll do my best. Lincoln, forget the ribbon dance. Why don't you go do your own talent? Lana, really? Okay, but we can kiss those Dairyland tickets goodbye. Lincoln, I don't care about them anymore. Go be yourself. Lana takes off her prim and perfect outfit and returns to her own appearance, ready to take the stage. Me, Very, Laney, Woody and Lily arrive. Me, Lincoln, you're in grave danger. Lola is coming. Lincoln, what? How do you know? Me, the Force told me. Lola barges in and looks for Lincoln. Lana is on stage with Hops. Lana, yo, Hops. Give me a bass line. Hops starts croaking and Lana starts doing a little jam while snapping her fingers, doing fart noises and scratching her butt. Very, come on, we got to get out of here, Lincoln. Lincoln, but I can't leave Lana. She's my sister. But it was too late. Lola grabs him and holds Lincoln against the wall with her crutch. And this is your other sister? Lincoln, wait. It's my fault, not Lana's. It was all my idea. Lana finishes her talent act and the crowd goes wild. Lola, I have worked 4 years to build my pageant reputation. And you just ruined it? Laney, Lola, calm down. Lincoln, Lola. Listen. Donnie, and the winner is, Lola loud. Lincoln, hoo. Lola smiles in amazement. Lana comes in with the victory tiara on her head and sees her twin. Lana, gasps Lola. I'm so sorry I pretended to be you. Please don't be mad at me. Lola, I don't like what you did, but you did win. And I respect a winner. Lana hugs her in relief. Lana, takes the tiara off. I think this belongs to you. Lola, no. You earned it. You both did. And the Dairyland tickets. Lincoln and Lana both look on in awe at Lola's magnanimous gesture, with the heavenly image once again accompanying this triumph. Choir, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Me, Very, Laney, Lily, Woody, Lincoln and Lana, hug each other. We're going to Dairyland. The doors opened and a snowflake and a little flickering flame came in and they fly backstage. The snowflake landed on Lana and the flame landed on Lola and they glowed. Lana was in a tornado made of snow and ice and Lola was in a tornado of pure fire. Lola's injuries were being healed. Me, what's going on? Laney, another choosing process is happening. The tornadoes died down and Lana got up first. Lana, whoa. What happened? I feel weird. Laney, Lana, this is what happened to Lori and Lily. A snowflake touched you and you were in a tornado of snow and ice. Lana, what? Let me see here. Lana then threw a blast of snow and the wall became frozen in ice. Lana, what? I have ice powers. Awesome. Me, let me check here. I check my legends book and find something interesting. Me, Lana, you've gotten ice powers because of the snowflake of Kian, the goddess of snow in Greek myth. Once every 500 years, Kian sends a snowflake that is imbued with her powers and winged flight, and a worthy soul is chosen by the purity of their hearts. Lana, neat. Lola got up next. Lola, what hit me? Sees that her arm and leg are healed. I'm all healed up. But I feel weird. Lola touched the wood floor and they saw smoke coming from her hand. Lily, gasped Lola, you're burning the floor. Lola saw this and she saw a black burned handprint on the floor. Lola, what's happened? Laney, Lola, you went through the same thing as Lori and Lily. A small flame touched you and you were in a tornado of fire. Lola, what? Are you sure, Laney? Laney, I'm positive. Lola, let me see. Holds out her hand and a fireball is shot out at the wall and it sets it on fire and Lily extinguishes it with her water powers. Woody, whoa. That is hot. Lola, gasps, I have fire powers. Very, it appears you do. I looked through my book. Me, Lola, you got fire powers because of the flame of Gabija, the spirit of fire in Lithuanian mythology. It says that once every 750 years, a person that has intense rage and a massive fire burning inside their heart will be chosen and be imbued with the powers of fire as well as winged flight. Lola, this is so weird. But how will I explain this to everyone back home? Laney, we'll think of something. But Lana, Lola, the key to controlling your new powers is love. It worked for me, Lori and Lily, and it can work for you both as well. Me, come on guys, let's go to Dairyland. Dairyland. Me, Very, Laney, Lily, Lincoln and Lana are getting on the milkshaker. Woody couldn't go because there was a height limit. Lincoln, to the viewers, well, I've learned two very valuable lessons. 1. You should never try to turn someone into something they're not. And 2. If you ever ride the milkshaker, keep your mouth closed. Me, true to that. The ride starts and everyone on it gets green around the gills and Lincoln throws up and gets hit by his own barf. Lana, awesome. Me, oh, yuck. Lincoln, my mouth was open. The end. Another fanfiction completed. Lola and Lana now have powers too. I have some more things planned and I hope you like them. Until next time, this is JD signing off. Chapter 23, The Louds and the Eds. Warning, this fanfiction contains mentions of rape. It starts at Royal Woods Elementary School as everyone was getting ready for the first period. Lincoln just came in and sat down. Mrs. Johnson, okay class, I have a special announcement. We have 3 new students joining our class today, so please give a warm Royal Woods welcome to Ed, and Eddie. They moved here from Peach Creek, Georgia, so make them feel welcome. Ed, why don't you sit next to Liam? Ed, why don't you sit next to Lincoln? And Eddie, why don't you sit next to Zach? Ed, don't mind if I do. Ed, I'd be delighted. Eddie, sure. The EDS took their seats. Lincoln decided to become friends with them. Lincoln, to Ed, hello, I'm Lincoln Loud. Ed, it's a pleasure to meet you, Lincoln. My name is Edward, but with 2 Ds. My friends call me Double D. Lincoln, good nickname. What was Peach Creek like before you moved to Royal Woods? Ed, it was a great place to call home, but due to recent events we decided to move away. Lincoln, what happened? Eddie, we don't like to talk about it very much. Anyway, the name's Eddie. It's a pleasure to meet you, Lincoln. Lincoln, same here, Eddie. Ed, my name is Ed. I can tell we're going to be good friends, Lincoln. Me and Very were then having lunch with Lincoln, Ronnie Ann, Clyde, Rusty, Liam, Zach, Lucy, Laney, Lana and Lola and Lisa and the 3 EDS. Me, so you guys moved here? That's cool. Welcome to Royal Woods. Ed, thank you, JD. Very, what are your favorite foods, Ed? Ed, I like buttered toast, gravy, and jawbreakers. Clyde, are they those tiny jawbreakers? Eddie, no way. Those are pathetic. We like the big ones that are the size of basketballs. Laney, that big. Those must be really good. Ed, they are delicious, Laney. Liam, so Double D, why do you wear that hat all the time? Eddie, he never takes it off because he has a hideous feature that he hides. Sorry, Double D. Me, it can't be that bad. Can it? Ed sighed and he took off his hat and we saw a hideously horrific sight that's so hideous that we can't show it. Me, screams and covers his eyes. My eyes. They burn. Very, I think I'm gonna be sick. Lincoln, Ronnie Ann, Laney, Lucy, Lily, Lola and Lana, Lisa, Clyde, Liam, and Zach went to the trash cans and threw up. Ed put his hat back on and we all sat back down. Me, okay, I stand corrected. I'm sorry we asked Double D. Ed, no, it's alright, JD. Me, okay, so what made you want to move to Royal Woods? Eddie, well, it was because we had 3 delinquent sisters that lived in a trailer park not far from where we used to live. Ed, their names were Lee, Marie, and May Canker. Me, the Canker sisters? I've read about them. They were arrested and sentenced to 4 years in the Atlanta Juvenile Correctional Facility for first-degree attempted rape. Eddie, yeah. That's them. Lincoln, what's rape? I whisper what rape is into Lincoln's ear and he turned red and hid under the table. Ed, we were chased out of the cul-de-sac when Eddie's latest scam for money to buy jawbreakers went wrong because of me. Very, you scammed your friends to buy jawbreakers? Ed, yeah, and because of that we had to run. Eddie, Kevin, Johnny 2x4, Rolf and Nez set out to hunt us down like wild animals. Me, the Vengeance Express was out to get you. Lucy, and they wouldn't stop until they pulverized you into oblivion until there was nothing left. Ed, we decided to seek sanctuary in the house of Eddie's brother. Eddie, Jimmy and Sarah told the Cankers and they found us at Mondo a Go-Go amusement park. Me, you went all the way to the Mondo a Go-Go seaside amusement park all by yourselves. That's crazy. Lincoln came back out from under the table. Eddie, I know, but we found my brother's home in the amusement park. He lives in a mobile home that's shaped like a whale. But everyone in our neighborhood showed up and I was happy to see my brother when he came, but he was a complete and total jerk to me throughout my childhood. The reason I became a greedy and selfish jerk was because my brother bullied me a lot and it ruined me. I made everything up about my brother because I wanted everyone to think I was cool. He did teach me how to scam kids, but everything else was a lie. He used to beat me up all the time when I was young. Me, Eddie, that's horrible. Ronnie N, it's times like these I'm glad that I stopped being a bully. Very, what your brother did, Eddie, was completely unforgivable. Lincoln, what a jerk. Lola, that's horrible. Lana, what a monster. Lisa, Eddie's brother is not even allowed to be called a Homo sapien, street name, human being. Lily, I'm so sorry that happened to all three of you. Ed, yeah, but the worst part came next. Ed, the cankers kidnapped us and took us into Eddie's brother's mobile home and glued the door shut and started torturing us. Jimmy, Sarah, Johnny 2x4, Kevin, Rolf and Nez tried to rescue us and they almost succeeded, but the cankers tied us all up. But at the last second Eddie's brother came and saved us. He did love Eddie and the police was called. Me, boy, you guys narrowly escaped having to endure a fate worse than death. Laney, those cankers were monsters and they make Adela the Hun look like a cute kitten. Ed, that's a good analogy, Laney. Sarah sat with us. Sarah, I'm glad those stupid cankers got what they deserved. Me, you must be Sarah, Ed's little sister. Sarah, that's right. Were you talking about what happened to my friends and big brother? Me, yes, we were. Sarah. Lucy, Sarah is in my class. Very, it's a pleasure to meet you. Me, what can you tell us about your friends in Peach Creek? Eddie, well, there's Johnny. He always talks to a piece of wood named plank. Lisa, Inanimate object communication is a way to prevent social phobias. Ed, Lisa, you are very smart for someone your age. Lincoln, Lisa is the genius in my family. Eddie, then there's Kevin. He was a total jerk. All he cared about was his bike. His father has a job at the Jawbreaker factory and he has a garage full of jawbreakers. Me, wow. That's a lot of jawbreakers. Ed, Naz is a beautiful and extremely kind and lovely girl. She's an angel from heaven. Zach, she sounds like a very nice girl. Eddie, then there's Rolf. He was from another country and he had a farm with chickens, pigs, cows, and Victor, who is a goat. Liam, I sure would like him. Ed, his chickens were very cuddly. Lana, you sure like chickens, Ed. Ed, I love chickens, Lana. Sarah, then there's Jimmy. He's my best friend. He loves doing all sorts of things with me. Me, sounds like you two were very close. Sarah, we were. But our moms moved us here to get us away from the past. Me, oh yeah. I'm sorry we reopened old wounds like this, but we want to do everything we can to help you. That's what friends are for. Eddie, thanks guys. The bell rang and it was time for the next class. On the walk back home, Ed, Sarah, Ed, and Eddie showed us where they lived. Eddie, we live in those houses over there. Eddie pointed to 3 houses across the street from the loud house. Ed, the green one is my house. Ed, the red one is my house. Eddie, and the blue one is my house. Me, wow. You guys live right next door to each other. Very, that's cool. Ed, let me introduce you to our parents. Ed took us to meet his parents at his house. Ed, Mom, Dad. In the kitchen, son. In the kitchen we met Ed's mom Angela and Ed's dad Tim. Ed, Mom, these are my friends. We met them at school today. Angela, it's a pleasure to meet you all. I'm Angela and this is my husband Tim. Me, pleasure to meet you. I'm James Knudsen but my friends call me JD. Me and my family moved here to Royalwood 6 months ago. I'm very. J.D.S my fiancé. We won't be married until we turn 25. Angela, congratulations you too. Me, thank you. Lincoln, I'm Lincoln Loud. I live across the street from you. Tim, it's a pleasure to meet you. At Ed's house Ed had us remove our shoes. Me, why do we have to remove our shoes? Double D. Eddie, Double D likes being very tidy and clean. Me, oh, I get it. I respect that. Double D. We remove our shoes and come inside. Ed, mother, father. In the bedroom upstairs, son. Be right down. We then met Ed's parents, Carla and Leonard. Ed, mother, father, you know Ed and Eddie. I have more friends over from school. Carla, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Carla and this is my husband Leonard. Me, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm James Knudsen but call me JD. Me and my family moved here 6 months ago. I'm J.D.'s fiancé. We won't be married until we're 25. Lincoln, my name is Lincoln Loud. I live across the street. Leonard, it's a pleasure to meet you all. We usually aren't home most of the time so we communicate via sticky notes. Me, I can see that. You guys got tons of sticky notes plastered all over the place. Carla, it's a tradition we have. At Eddie's house, we came in and in the living room Eddie introduced us to his parents, Jack and Jessica. Eddie, Mom, you know Ed and Double D. These are more friends. Jack, it's a pleasure. I'm Jack. Eddie's father. Jessica, I'm Jessica. It's a pleasure. Me, pleasure's ours. I'm James Knudsen but call me JD. Me and my family moved here 6 months ago. I'm very. J.D.'s fiancé, the marriage won't be official until we're 25. Lincoln, I'm Lincoln Loud. I live across the street from you. Me, Eddie's a great guy. I can tell we're gonna be best friends. This was the beginning of a beautiful friendship. The end. Another fanfiction completed. I wanted to make Ed and Eddie a part of the series and include them in many adventures to come. Until next time, this is JD. Signing off. Ed and Eddie is owned by Danny Antonucci and Cartoon Network. Chapter 24, Space Invader. Me, Ed and Eddie and the girls are all in the bathroom getting ready to go to bed. Lenny's brushing her hair, Luan's flossing, Lily, Lola and Lana are brushing their teeth, Lori's applying dabs of ointment, Luna's rubbing some purple facial cream, Lucy and Lynn are fighting over the toothpaste, and Lisa's jotting down notes. Luna, singing I'm wash in my face, 'cause it makes me feel so beautiful. Luan, gets floss stuck in her braces. Hey, look. I'm at a floss for words. Laughs. Me, laughs, good one Luan. Eddie, laughs, you are too funny Luan. Luan, that's why I love you Eddie. Kisses Eddie. Eddie, you are one lucky guy. Lenny, I brush my hair exactly 50 times a night to keep it beautiful. 34, 35, 36. Lori, hey, Lenny, how old was that boy that asked you out? Lenny, losing count thanks to Lori. 16, 17, 18. Lori smiles slyly at her little joke. We see Laney at the sink trying to reach for her toothbrush. Laney, hey, Lenny, can you hand me my toothbrush? It's the orange one with the number 2 written on it. Lenny, gives Laney her toothbrush, but loses count again. 2, 3, 4. How's control of your powers coming along Lana, Lola? Lana, we have full mastery over them, Lola, Laney's help really worked. That's great. Lily, I'm so glad you too. Ed, I didn't know some of you have superpowers. Lori, me, Laney, Lana and Lola, Very, and JD have powers. Ed. Me, it's a long story. Ed. Ed, oh. Mum's the word. Lynn, hey. I had the toothpaste first. Lucy, no, I did. Lynn, keep your spooky hands off it. While the girls get ready, Lincoln pops in and looks around and snatches the toothpaste out of Lynn's hand. Lincoln, I'll take that. Lynn, hey. Learn to share. Me, to Lincoln, you excited for our sleepover tonight, Lincoln? Lincoln, I sure am, JD. Accidentally dabs toothpaste into the sink and hands the tube back to Lynn, to the viewers. Space, the final frontier. As you might imagine, with 11 sisters, space is limited. Notices he missed his toothbrush and gets the toothpaste out of the sink. Me, you sound like Captain Kirk at the beginning of Star Trek, Lincoln. Lincoln, I know. Everywhere you go, you gotta deal with the crowds. Me, Very, Ed and Eddie head to Lincoln's room. Eddie, to Lincoln, it must be really hard living in a huge family in a small house. Lincoln, yep. But being the only boy in the family comes with a perk. Enters his room and pauses. You hear that? Me, nope. Very, I don't hear anything. Ed, Ed, no. Eddie, nope. Lincoln, me neither. While my sisters all have to share bedrooms, I get my own. Sure, it's just a converted linen closet, but it's my own space. My own little oasis in the sands of the loud house. And I wouldn't give it up for the world. Eddie, I don't blame you. Lincoln. Ed, Sarah has to put up with me all the time. Eddie, shut up. Ed. Before Lincoln starts brushing his teeth, at that very moment, a loud thud is heard. Me, Very, Lincoln, Ed and Eddie go up to Lynn, Laney, and Lucy's room where the other girls are listening. Lynn and Lucy are having a fight. Lynn, you're always Miss Gloom and Doom. Like, would it kill you to smile once in a while? Lucy, it would. Lincoln, what's going on? Lori, Lucy and Lynn are going at it again. Laney, I wouldn't worry about it. This happens all the time. Eddie, does this happen a lot? Lewin, it's always like this. Eddie. I'd make a joke about fighting, but I can't think of a good punchline. Laughs. Get it? Get it? Eddie, laughs, good one, Lewin. Me, laughs, funny. Lisa, recording human subjects seem to be proving Charles Darwin correct. Ed, violence is part of the Homo sapien nature. It's been that way for thousands of years. Lenny, I can't bear to watch. Puts cucumber slices over her facial mask. That's better. Me, incoming. A jock strap comes flying out of the room and the others duck in time to avoid it. Lori, I'd hate to get in the middle of this one. Me too. I may be a fighter, but I have my limits. Lincoln, I totally agree. Goes back to his room while the jock and goth of the family continue their quarrel. Another perk to having my own room, guys. I don't have to get involved. Me, good for you, buddy. Before he starts to brush, someone's knocking on his door and it's revealed to be Lynn holding a pillow. Me, hello Lynn. Lincoln, hey, Lynn. What's up? Lynn, there's no way I'm staying in the same room with the Duchess of Darkness. Can I bunk in your bedroom tonight? Me, well, if you need to be away from Lucy for a while, I don't see why not. But it's up to Lincoln though. Lincoln, I'd say yes, but it's not really a bedroom, per se. There's barely enough space for me, tiny, small, cramped. Lynn, downtrodden. Ugh, I guess I'll just go sleep in the bathtub. Lincoln, that's a great idea. Problem solved. Good night. Right before he closes the door, Lynn makes a sad baby doll-eyed face. Lincoln, relieved, guiltily sighs and opens the door. All right, You can stay. But just for one night. Lynn, thanks, Lincoln. Busts out fist. Lincoln, flinches up. Lynn, 2 for flinching. Playfully punches his arm twice and goes in, laughing. Lincoln, it's just for one night. What's the worst that could happen? Goes in. Okay, we'll have to establish a few ground rules. 1. Keep your hands off my. Notices Lynn is using his toothbrush. Stuff. Lynn spits out the toothpaste into his wastebasket and hands them to him. Lincoln tosses his toothbrush in there now that someone else has used it. Me, good thing I always carry a spare. I open my jacket and pull out a spare unused orange toothbrush and give it to Lincoln. Me, here Lincoln. Lincoln, thanks JD. Now as I was saying sees Lynn playing with his giant robot action figure and stops her. Let's just set this down. Lynn messes with his doodads. Careful. Lynn touches his clock. Please don't. Lynn tosses Bun Bun in the air. Bun Bun. Catches him. You okay? Did the mean girl hurt you? Lynn, looking around, I'm noticing a complete lack of balls in this room. Lincoln makes a discomfort face at that remark. No soccer balls, no footballs, no baseballs, no balls. Good thing I brought my own. Dumps sports balls out of her pillowcase onto the floor. Lincoln, yawns. Would you look at the time? Let's just turn in and get this night over with. Me, do we have to? Lynn, what do you mean? It's still early, and you have a fun new roommate. Lincoln, yeah dash. Lynn, puts a wrestling mask over Lincoln's head. Lucha Libre. Lincoln, I can't see anything. Me, oh it is on. Pulls out a red, orange, and yellow wrestling mask and puts it on. Lynn, it's lunatic. Lynn off the third turnbuckle. Leaps off the foot of Lincoln's bed. Lincoln, what? What? I can't hear anything, either. Me, here comes Phoenix James. Jumps and grabs Lynn and pins her. But Lynn reverse flips and grabs my leg and pulls on it and I start pounding on the bed. Lynn, say it JD. Me, never. Reverse flips and pins Lynn. Uno, dos, tres. You're out. Yeah. Phoenix James is El Campeón del Mundo. Lincoln, can we please go to sleep? There's no pain involved. Lynn, not when you're a sleep fighter like me. Busts out fist. Lincoln, flinches up. Lynn, 2 for flinching. Playfully punches his arm twice and laughs. Lincoln sighs. Later, the 4 are ready to go to bed, but as Lincoln turns off the lights, Lynn starts ricocheting a tennis ball off the wall. Lincoln, irritated. What are you doing? Lynn, what? It helps me fall asleep. Lincoln, well, it doesn't help me. Can you knock it off? Lynn throws the ball at Lincoln's head. Me, to the viewers, in case you're wondering where Ed, Double D, and Eddie are, whenever we have a sleepover, they sleep in different rooms. Pans to Lisa and Lily's room. Double D sleeps in Lisa and Lily's room. Pans to Lana and Lola's room. Ed sleeps in Lana and Lola's room. Pans to Luna and Luan's room, and Eddie sleeps in Luna and Luan's room. Eddie and Luan have a budding romance going on after Luan and Benny broke up. It was sad to hear that. As they're starting to sleep, Lynn lets out a big fart from under the covers and laughs. Lincoln, ugh. Lynn. Me, senses what's gonna happen next. Uh-oh. Lynn, pulls the covers over Lincoln. Dutch oven. Laughs as Lincoln cries in distress over the gas she let out, sets him free as he breathes heavily. Good night, Lincoln. Very, sternful, not funny, Lynn. Lincoln, agonized good night. Later, Lynn is snoring so loud and drooling so much, Lincoln just can't get any sleep and gets out of bed and takes his pillow with him. Me, in my head she snores just as loud as Dad does. The next morning, Lori wakes up and goes into the bathroom and gets ready to take a shower, but as she turns on the water, someone is already in there and screams over the wet awakening. Glori opens the curtains to see that it's Lincoln who took Lynn's idea of sleeping in the bathtub. Glori, irked Lincoln. What are you doing? Lincoln, more irked, getting my room back. Leaves the bathroom. Lincoln walks past Lewin and Luna's room dripping wet as Lewin opens the door and Eddie is with her. Lewin, mornin', Link. What's up? Laughs. Eddie, laughs, good one, Lewin. Lynn is getting out of bed and feels refreshed and sees Lincoln. I follow her. Lynn, what a great night's sleep. You look terrible. Me, did you go sleep in the bathroom? Lincoln, yep. Lynn, Lincoln starts pushing her. Hey. Lincoln, thank you for staying at Chateau Lincoln, where we have a one-night maximum stay. Thank you. Pushes her back into her own room and his to his, but off in the distance. Lucy, what are you doing here? Lynn, what am I doing here? Gets kicked out. Me, uh-oh. Lucy, get out. Lynn, what do you mean get out? Fine. I'll just stay in Lincoln's room again. He's a way cooler roomie, anyway. Goes back in Lincoln's room. Lincoln, but Lynn closes the door. Lucy. Please make up with Lynn. Lucy, I'd rather wear pink. Me, come on Lucy. Give her another chance. Lucy, I'd rather wear pink and sparkle with pink glitter. Lincoln, but Lucy closes the door and Lincoln sighs. Very, this is crazy. Me, very, Ed, Eddie, Laney, Lana, Lola, Lincoln, and Clyde are walking to school. Lincoln, what do I do, Clyde? I can't just kick her out. She is my sister, but she's invaded my space. Clyde, can you blame her for staying, Lincoln? You're just too good a roommate. Laney, this is madness. Clyde. Lucy and Lynn won't make up and it's getting rather tough without Lynn in our room. Lola, I hear you. Laney. Me, we got to think of something. Very, this is crazy. Lincoln, getting an idea, but what if I was a bad roommate? I've got a plan. Runs back home. Clyde, wait. But we still have school. Lincoln, turns around back to school, right? I'll just execute my plan after school. Laney went to Lincoln's room where Lynn was bunking in. But once again she found herself in a weird situation. Laney, Lynn? Do you? She was speechless to find Lincoln in goth attire and reading poems like Lucy. Lincoln, despondently, hey, Lynn. Wanna hear my new poem? It's called Space. Starts reading. Space, deep, black, endless, like my heart. Space, mine invaded. Torn apart. This is the real me, Lynn. I can understand if you don't want to be my roommate anymore. Lynn, upset. Oh. Suddenly laughs, surprising Lincoln. Oh, that is the best impression of Lucy ever. Wraps him around her arm. You are so funny, roomie. Laughs some more. Laney, never mind. Closes the door. Lincoln chokes under her wrap. Another sleepless night for him. The next night, as Lynn enters. Lincoln, Campion del Mundo Loco. Lincoln. With his wrestling mask on, surprise attacks Lynn and pins her down. 1, 2, 3. You're out? Yeah. Raw. Who? Lynn, hey, that's cheating. I like the way you think. Laughs. Lincoln sighs and has to put up with her some more. Later, he lets out a really big fart like Lynn did before. Me, in my head now she's in for it. Lincoln pulls the covers over her. Lincoln, Dutch oven. Laughs as Lynn cries in distress this time. Very snickers. Lynn, furious that is it. Gets out of bed and leaves, making Lincoln smile in belief that his plan finally worked and he has his space back. Laney was reading a book called Hug and Make Up, Tips on How to Reconnect with Others. She was reading it to try and find a way to bring Lucy and Lynn back together. Laney, Lynn comes back in Lynn. You. Lynn, hey Lanes, just here for my stuff. Grabs her stuff thanks. Laney sighs as Lynn left and continued reading. Lynn, returns with all her stuff, cheerful. You really are the best roommate ever. I'm moving in. Permanently. Lincoln will now have to endure sleepless nights with Lynn as his roommate forever. Me, telepathically to Lincoln, I know it's rough, Lincoln. But we'll think of something. The next morning, another showering awakening occurs courtesy of Glori. Lincoln goes out the bathroom and notices Lucy ricocheting one of Lynn's balls across the wall. Lucy, sigh. Lincoln, good morning, Lucy. Lucy, denying ball. What ball? Tosses ball away and it hits her head. Lincoln starts to get suspicious and finds Lynn sighing sadly while reading Lucy's poetry. Lincoln, good morning, Lynn. Lynn, denying book of Lucy's poems. Tosses book away. What book of Lucy's poems? The book hits her head. Lincoln is extra curious about this. Me, very, Ed, Double D, and Eddie were in the living room playing video games while Laney was reading her book on the sofa. She bumped into Lincoln on his way upstairs. At the same time. Lincoln, Laney. Laney, Lincoln. So. How was your day? Lincoln, fine. Yours? Laney, I don't want to talk about it. They both took a deep breath and said simultaneously. Lincoln, I want Lynn out of my room. Laney, I want Lynn back in my room. Lincoln, what? Laney, I couldn't stand seeing my roomies fight like this. And also it's getting very uncomfy sleeping in Lynn's bed. Lincoln, why couldn't you just sleep in your bed? Laney, call it a friendly gesture. But I was just keeping Lynn's bed warm for her. Though even I think it was a bit unnecessary. I just want things to go back to the way they were. Lincoln sees the book Laney was reading. Lincoln, hey, can I see that book? Laney, oh sure. Gives Lincoln the book. He flips through the pages until he finds something interesting. Lincoln, hey Laney. I think this little number may do the trick. Shows Laney a certain page and she smiled. JD, very, guys, I got a plan. Me, very, Ed, and Eddie gathered and we hear Lincoln's plan. Later that night, Lincoln executes his plan. He slips two little invitations into specific spots, one in Lucy's poetry book and the other under his door. As we go to hide, the two get the invitations and know why they're there and decide to get dinner over with. And after a long pause. Lucy and Lynn, I'm glad you finally wanna apologize to me. Angry what? Me apologize to you? You're here to apologize to me. Lincoln realizes his plan is now going south from there as they are about to go at it yet again. Lucy, you are absolutely crazy. Lynn, what? Are you crazy? Absolutely not. Lucy, I don't understand why you think this is my fault. Lynn, I mean, really. Lucy, you are absolutely wrong. Lynn, just respect the space. The commotion grabs the attention of the other sisters. Glori, yikes. I'd sure hate to get in the middle of that. Laney, do you think they like the dinner I made for them? Glori, I doubt they're going to use it for eating. Luna, yeah, hate to be a part of that fight. Don't know how ya do it, Lanes. Me, this is ridiculous. Laney sighs and went inside knowing what to do. Lucy, it's just ridiculous. Lynn, I'm not the one who started it. You're the one who started it? Lucy, please. Lynn, don't even get me started. Laney, enough. Gets their attention. I made this dinner so that you two would make up. The feuding roommates feel offended. Lynn, you did this. Lucy, why? Laney, I've been in this family for quite a long time. And I know it can be hard to share a space, it's hard to share, period. But we're siblings, and we're always there for each other. And I know deep down you two miss at each other, you're just too stubborn to admit it. The two then see what he means. Lucy, I guess I do have trouble sleeping without a ball banging against the wall. Lynn, and I guess I do miss hearing you sigh heavily as you write your poems. Me, I come in it's very hard. I may not have a big family like all of you do. But you're all my friends and I care about you all just as much as my biological family. Lincoln, Laney and JD are right. Now you two make up, because if I have to spend one more night with Snorzilla over here, I'm going to go insane. Lynn throws a meatball at him. Lucy, ha. Nice throw. Lynn, you like that. Throws another one at Laney. Laney, oh yeah? Throws it back and Lynn ducks and it hits Lucy instead and Lynn laughs at it and Lucy hits her with one into her mouth. Lucy, ha ha. The two of them grab some spaghetti and look like they're about to take their fight to a whole new level. Me, Lincoln and Laney, look at each other worriedly But the fight is more for their enjoyment than their frustration and they start laughing. Me, Lincoln and join in on the fray. Glori, well, I'm out skis. Lewin, yeah. It's way past our bedtime. Laughs. Eddie, laughs good one, Lewin. The other sisters just sigh at Lewin's pun as they head off to bed. The food fight is now over and the jock and goth are satisfied. Lynn, so, I can move back in. Lucy, nothing would make me happier. Lynn, busts out fist two for flinching. But Lucy didn't flinch dang. It never works on you. They hug. Laney, well, I'm glad you two finally made up. But how are we supposed to sleep with all this mess? They made quite a mess from their food fight and it got all over their beds. Lucy, Laney and Lynn, Lincoln. Lincoln's room. Lincoln, to the viewer's space, the final frontier. Sure, I'm lucky enough to have a room to call my own, but in the loud house, we all know when we need to share. Me, you said it buddy. Very, I agree. It's revealed that both Lynn, Laney, and Lucy are sleeping with Lincoln in his room tonight until they have time to clean up the mess they made. Lincoln, but just for one night. Slips on his loco Lincoln mask Buenas noches. Me, waves to the viewers God nat venner. Norwegian for good night friends. The end. Another fanfiction completed. I hope this one is a good one. Star Trek mentions are owned by Gene Roddenberry and the crew and stars of Star Trek. Chapter 25, Spell It Out. It starts with Lucy and Fangs returning home from their nightly walk. Lucy and Fangs come walking home at night, and enter the house with lightning flashing for their entrance. Lucy, content I so enjoy our nightly strolls, Fangs. Fangs squeaks in agreement. Me, very, Lily and Laney are sitting on the couch reading books. Laney, oh, hey Lucy. Lucy, hello Laney, JD, very, Lily. Me, have a nice walk. Lucy, yes. It was quite enjoyable. Anything happen while we were away? Laney, well, you could say that. Pro tip, don't go in the bathroom. Lucy, why would I do that? Laney, off-screen guys, this looks so good. Glori, also off-screen we should literally be interior designers. Very, you'll find out when you see it. Lucy goes upstairs to see what they're talking about and finds her siblings painting the bathroom pink. Fangs flies away. Lucy, hey, guys. Her siblings gasp in surprise at her appearance. Why are you painting the bathroom my least favorite color? Lynn, duh. We all voted on it at the sibling meeting, remember? Flashback to the meeting, me, very, and all the siblings but Lucy are gathered. Glori, so, based on the leftover paint in the garage, Our options are pink, giggles, or black. All in favor of pink. Lincoln, Laney, Luna, Lewin, Lynn, Lana, Lola, and Lisa, raise their hands. Lori, all oppose. Me, very, Laney and Lily, nay. We raise our hands. Lori, it's unanimous. Squeals pink it is. End. Flashback. Lucy, sigh. Well, I wasn't there. But of course, as usual, no one noticed. Me, very, Laney and Lily walk upstairs. Me, very, Laney and Lily voted against the pink and went for black. Lucy, why? Me, I don't really like the color pink. No offense Lola. Lola, none taken JD. Very, we were outvoted. Lucy, I know. No one noticed. Lola, oh, come on. Exaggerate much. While Laney is painting, she accidentally hits Lucy, stroking her with pink paint. Laney, whoops. Sorry, I didn't notice you. Pokes Lucy's nose. Laney wipes the pink paint off Lucy. Laney, believe me, Lucy. I tried. But it was 9 against 4. Besides, they didn't notice me either. Lucy, what makes you think that? Laney accidentally strokes Laney with pink paint. Laney, off screen. Oh, sorry Laney. Didn't notice you either. Sighs. Lucy, Fangs, and the pets are performing a seance in the den. Lucy, oh, spirits, I summon thee dash. Lori suddenly shrieks. Lori, on her phone what? No, she did not. Lucy and the animals disregard it and resume their seance. Lucy, oh, spirits, I summon thee dash. Lincoln comes screaming in with his laptop while wearing Viking attire. Lincoln, to his online friends, okay, first we send in recon falcons to assess the enemy's firepower. Lucy, Gur. Regains her composure. Oh, spirits dash. Enter Lynn practicing as crew coxswain with the twins rowing. Lynn, on a megaphone, easy on starboard. And stroke. 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 Lucy, ugh. Goes into the living room to talk to her siblings who are doing their things at once. Guys, could you keep it down? I'm trying to contact Dash, gets hit by Lily's oar and is sent flying back into the den. Oof. Laney, are you okay, Lucy? Lucy, off screen, what do you think? Laney, to her siblings minus Lily, hey, what's the big idea? You can't just gets hit by Lana's or OOF. Flies into the den. The dinner table. Lynn Sr. Last slice of pie. Holds it up, who wants it? Lucy raises her hand, but Lola comes rolling down the table. Lola, grabs the slice. I take the slice from Lola. Lola, hey. I had that first. Me, sorry, Lola, but Lucy called it first. I hand Lucy the slice. Lucy, thanks JD. Me, you're welcome, Lucy. Laney, you're a true friend JD. The sofa area. Lisa is working on her chemicals and me, Very, and the others are coming in to watch TV. Lynn, excuse me. Lucy, I call left armrest. Lana pounces on Lucy and takes the armrest. Lucy brushes herself off, places her book of poems on the coffee table and turns the TV on to her favorite show. Announcer, next on Vampires of Melancholia. Edwin, Griselda, I know you're only seeing that werewolf to make me jealous. The others look bored at it and Lynn makes a buzzer sound on her megaphone. Lana, we want to watch a show. Me, tough cookies. Lucy was here first. So she gets to watch what she wants. The siblings minus Laney and Lily complain. Luna, we voted on tonight's TV show at the sibling meeting. Me, too bad. You know the rule. Lucy was here first. Lucy, what about Lisa? She was in here before me. Me, true. But she's doing her experiments. Lucy, Laney, you like Vampires of Melancholia, right? Laney, it's a great show, Lucy. Very, this is a really cool show. Lucy, will someone please hand me my poetry journal? I have some very strong feelings to express. Lisa accidentally spills her chemicals. But I grab the book before they got on it and hand it to Lucy. Me, careful, Lisa. Here you go, Lucy. Lucy, thanks JD. You're a true friend. After the show ends, Lucy decides to go someplace else to write in peace. Me, very, Laney, and Lily couldn't help but feel bad for Lucy. Lucy and Edwin go up into the attic and me, very, Laney and Lily decide to go check on her. Laney, off-screen Lucy. Are you up here? Lucy, what do you want? Me, very, Laney and Lily walk in. Oh. It's you guys. Me, sorry about your siblings' unfair treatment towards you. Laney, I'm sure they didn't mean to do it. Lucy, groans, but they did, guys. No matter what I do, my siblings walk all over me. At least when things get bad, I can go to my secret dark place. Notices something wrong with her dark place, which they filled with their junk. Typical. Sigh. Laney, we'll help you with that. Me, very, Laney, Lily and Lucy push all the junk away. Look, Lucy. Just because they don't listen to you doesn't mean they don't love you. Lucy, it's more than that, Laney. They barely notice me. I just wish I can get back at them somehow. They come across an old chest and notice a tag on it. Oh, look. This trunk belonged to great-grandma Harriet. Very, this was your great-grandmother's trunk, Lucy. Lucy opens it. She was a pretty cool lady. Holds up a photo of Harriet, who looks identical to Lucy but in period-accurate clothes. See? Me, wow. She looks just like you, Lucy. Laney, well, she does bear a resemblance. Very, no kidding. Lily, you showed me an older photo of her when I was a baby. Lucy, yeah. Takes out a crystal ball and skulls and notices a secret compartment. Oh. What's this? Opens it and finds a book, picks it up and blows the dust off. Laney, ancient book of spells. Lucy, whoa. Looks at the book's array of spells. Me, she was into light and dark magic like me. Lucy looks at me. Lucy, you can use magic, JD. Me, yes. Watch. I find a good object. Me, menaced Hestionzanzia. A purple lightning bolt fired from my hand and it hit a bunch of old phonograph records and turned them into a huge pile of gold coins. Tada. Laney, whoa. That was incredible. Lily, I didn't know you were capable of doing that, JD. Laney went over to the coin pile and picked one up. Laney, notices a wrapper and peels it off. Chocolate coins. My favorite. Lily, cool. Me, I had a feeling you would like that. Lucy, If I can't get through to my siblings, maybe a little magic will. Starts reading. Laney, something tells me I'm not going to like where this is going. The living room. Lori, on her phone. It's like, Carol got eyelash extensions and suddenly she's too good for us. Pause. I know. Pause. I know. Lucy is watching her from the den. Me, so Carol is trying to regain her social status even after the homecoming queen scandal. Laney, yeah. Some people just can't take a hint. Very, she was suspended for 3 weeks and she is at it again. Lily, I can't believe her. Lucy, so, you like disrupting my seances with your inane phone calls. Laney, do you think that spellbook actually works, Lucy? Lucy, only one way to find out. Reads an incantation: eye of newt and toe of frog, cease this endless dialogue. Lori's phone suddenly hangs up. Lori, Whitney. Whitney. Hello. What? No. This can't be happening. She goes upstairs and Lucy smiles at the outcome while me, Very, Laney and Lily are bewildered on what just happened. Me, well I'll be. Laney, I can't believe it. Those spells really worked. I never thought it would, but it did. Lucy, oh. You haven't seen anything yet. Lana is watching TV on Lucy's spot. Me, Very, Laney, Lily and Lucy are on the staircase. Lucy, from the staircase so, you like putting my muddy butt on my favorite seat. Laney, Lucy, are you sure this is a good idea? Lucy, reads a spell lizard's leg and howlet's wing, bring vengeance with an itchy sting. Lana suddenly jumps off the armrest and starts scratching her butt vigorously, Lucy smiles proudly. Lisa is in her room working on her experiments and humming a tune while Lucy watches her from the vent. Lucy, so you can't help spilling your chemicals on my stuff. Reads Gall of Goat, slips of you, turn clumsy fingers into glue. Lisa spills another one of her chemicals. Lisa, oopsie. Picks it up and gets her hand stuck to her flask. That's atypical. She tries to get it off but keeps crashing into her chemicals while Lucy laughs at her misery. There's an explosion leaving Lisa in a mess. Lisa, of course, now I have to tinkle. As Lucy stood proudly on her revenge on her sisters, Laney begins to worry. Even if Lucy's magic was real, it shouldn't be used to get back at someone. Later, me, Very and Laney were sitting by the staircase watching Lenny and Lily watching TV in the living room. They then met up with Lucy again. Lucy walked downstairs. Lucy, Laney, you should have seen it. I've used a spell on Lisa and made her all sticky. She's a total mess. Me, I don't think you should abuse magic like this, Lucy. Laney, yeah. Are you sure we should be using those spells to get back at our siblings just because they didn't notice you? I mean, this is the kind of stuff that has unexpected consequences. Lucy, don't be like that, Laney. Besides, you know very well they abused you too. Laney, what are you talking about? Lucy, I'm talking about all the times they walked all over you. Laney, no. They would never do that to me. Lucy, oh yeah? What about the time Lenny rooted through your chest? Flashback to Laney going into her room and shocked to find Lenny using paint on her ballerina costume. Lenny, oh gosh. This tutu totes looks prettier in red. Paints Laney's tutu red. Laney snatches the tutu from Lenny. Laney, what do you think you're doing? You've ruined my tutu. Lenny, more like made it better. It is so your color, Lorraine. Pinches Laney's cheek. Laney growls furiously. Cuts back to the present and Laney's face burns red with rage at the very memory. Me, uh-oh. Laney, furious she called me Lorraine. Lucy smiles and lends the book to Laney. Give me that. Snatches the spell book from Lucy and goes and gets up from the staircase and begins to perform a spell. I'll teach you to go through other people's stuff. Reads an incantation. Bird of fowl and feathers pluck, become a chicken, cluck cluck cluck. Lenny gets up from the couch and starts acting like a chicken. Lenny, balk. Ba bagok. Lily laughs hysterically. Laney couldn't help but smile at this. Laney, laughs. That was incredible. These spells are great. With this I can finally get the respect I deserve. Lucy, welcome to the dark side. Very, I got a bad feeling about this. Laney spent most of her day using spells to get back at the other siblings minus Lily. She used one on Lola and a patch of hair falls from her head and she screams. Laney giggled. Next she used a spell on Lincoln and he froze like a statue. Laney laughed even more wickedly. Lastly, she cast a spell on Luna and as she was playing her guitar, it stopped making sound. She strummed her guitar and no music played and she was distraught. Laney continues to evilly cackle. Later, me, Very, Lily and her were walking downstairs to see Lucy and Edwin. Laney, Lucy. You should see what I did to Luna. I made her lose her jams and probably her mind. Lucy, can't talk. As Lucy walks up to the attic, we notice the bald spots on the back of Lucy's head. Me, oh. That stickiness spell on Lisa got on her. We walk up to the attic. Laney, why the long face? You should be happy. Thanks to those spells, things are finally going our way. Lucy, takes the book from Laney. Things are going your way. But even if I use the spells, nothing changes around here for me. Me, what's wrong? Lucy, they backfired on me. Lori's talking to her friends in person instead of crying over her phone. Lana used Edwin as a butt scratcher. Points to her bust. Those lips touched her butt. Groans, it's so frustrating. Tosses the book, which bounces off a trampoline and hits her in the face, revealing another spell. Gasp. Laney, Lily, JD, Very, look at this. We look at the spell. Very, that's too extreme. Laney, oh. This spell is too perfect. Lucy, I know. It has to work. To the photo, thanks for giving me a sign. Rubs her head, though next time, a simple flickering light will do. She and Laney begin working on some kind of powder and are humming some kind of chant for it as several candles are arranged in a circle around her. Lincoln pops up. Lincoln, hey, Luce. Hey, Lanes. Lucy quickly flips the circle for her powder below the floor and swaps it out with Lola's tea party set. Laney, oh. Hello Lincoln. We were just having a little tea party. Lincoln, okay. Well anyway. Come on. Time to visit Pop Pop. Luin, pops up from under Lincoln, who's now on her head. We voted on where to sit in Vanzilla, and you got the soggy seat. Lincoln, sorry, Laney. But the only seat we have left for you is the springy seat. Laney, angry springy seat. Why you? Lucy stops her. Lucy, you guys go without me. I'm in the middle of something important. Me, but tell your grandpa we wish him the best. Luin, we will. Lincoln and Luin leave and Lucy flips the spot back to her powder and turns to the book. Me, to the viewers, in case you're wondering where Ed, Double D, and Eddie are, they are out of town and won't be back until the day after tomorrow, and Woody is over in his house watching TV. Laney, steaming springy seat indeed. Lucy, don't worry, Laney. Once this is over, we'll see who sits in the soggy and springy seats from now on. That night, the two start sprinkling the powder on all of her siblings minus Lily's pillows. Lucy and Laney, round about the bedrooms, go, on their pillows, spell dust throw. By sunrise, they will have no choice, but to listen to my voice. Laney, in her pajamas, do you really think that spell will work? Lucy, in her pajamas guaranteed. Laney, climbs into her bed. Well, good night Lucy, JD, Very and Lily. Me, good night. Very, good night. Lily, good night. Lucy, good night guys. To the Harriet photo. Night night, great grandma Harriet. Yawn. Opens up her coffin only to find Lynn's sports equipment stored in it. Ugh. Lynn dumps the equipment out. This spell cannot work fast enough. The next morning, me, Very, Laney, Lily and Lucy go to the newly pink bathroom to see the others brushing their teeth. Me, morning girls. Laney, morning. Whispers, let's surprise them. Lucy nods. Laney and Lucy, hey, guys. The siblings are startled by their appearance as usual, but when they scream, no sound comes out, much to her content. Laney, it worked. High fives Lucy. Me, it did work. Very, incredible. Lucy, yes. Now everything is gonna change around here. Lucy is now holding a sibling meeting. Lucy sibling meeting, repaint the bathroom. Lucy, next item of business, repainting the bathroom. All opposed to black, say nay. Her siblings try to say something, but can't without their voices. Me and Very are smiling. Lucy, no one. Shrugs. Black it is. Pulls up the tarp revealing black paint cans. The others look on at them, upset. Later at dinner, me, Very, Lily, Lucy and Laney are eating the leftovers while her siblings glare at us. Laney, how's that leftover turkey leg? Lucy, talking with her mouth full. Number. I can't believe no one else wanted this. Lily, Lola, can you pass the mashed potatoes? Now they're watching Vampires of Melancholia. Edwin, Griselda, you're back. I see you've come to your senses. Griselda, no, I just found out I'm allergic to wolf hair. Edwin looks unimpressed at that revelation while Lucy's siblings look unimpressed at her for this decision. Laney's smiling as she watched this. Back in the attic. Laney, man. Today has been the best day ever. Lucy, yep, and we have great-grandma Harriet to thank for that. Suddenly. Rita, off-screen. Lynn, what's wrong? Lynn is beating on her punching bag which Rita is holding. Rita, oh, now, come on, kiddo. Lynn delivers a mighty blow to the bag. Whoa. Your crewmate can't have gone that badly. Me, Very, Lucy, Laney and Lily come in. Me, what happened, Ms. Rita? Lynn takes out her phone to show them a recording of her crewmate where she couldn't tell her teammates to stroke while the opposing team passes them. Rival coxswain, stroke. 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 Lynn's team's canoe goes in a circle and they lose the race. They get angry at Lynn, toss her off the canoe and into the lake. Very, those ingrates. Rita, furious, they literally kicked you off the team. That is not fair. Tosses Lynn her phone and starts punching the bag to let out all that tension her daughter did. Lucy and Laney have witnessed that and hears her dad off screen. Lynn Sr., Lincoln, you got one of your friends killed. Lincoln shows his dad what happened in Swords and Cyborgs. Clyde, Commander Loud, what's our move? Lincoln couldn't say the command and tries to gesture incoherently. Clyde, you want us to frost a birthday cake? Lincoln and Rusty are not amused. Rusty, I think he wants us to attack. I'm just gonna attack. As Lincoln tries to protest, Rusty has his character lift his sword and charge into the enemy fortress. Rusty spokes. Clyde, Rusty. No. Rusty's character gets attacked by cyborgs. Rusty, Clyde, it's an ambush. Oh, the horror. Lucy and Laney look on with worry and hears her mom talking to Lori. Rita, Lori, honey, I'm sure it's not the end of the world. Through mascara-smudged tears, Lori shows her mom the message. Voicemail, what's with the silent treatment, Lori? Do you think you're better than us? Ugh. Whatever. Friendship, over. Rita, trying to console her, no worries. You can always hang out with your old mom. You can join my book club. Lori just wants to cry and covers her face with her pillow. Lucy and Laney look on with despair over what she has done. Back in the attic. Laney, what have we done, Lucy? I knew those spells would have consequences and I cast them anyway. Me, there has to be something we can do to fix this. Very, yeah. Lucy, I didn't mean to ruin everyone's life. I just hope there's a way to undo the spell. Finds a shocking small printing gasp. Laney, Lily, look to put a spell back on the shelf, transfer the effects onto yourself. Whoa. Lucy, Laney, and Lily look at each other. Lori and Lenny's room for another sibling meeting, all loud kids are assembled. Lucy, okay, don't worry, guys. Her siblings glare at her and Laney. We didn't call this meeting to force any more resolutions on you. I just want to make a confession. Laney, you see, Lucy and I were getting really fed up with the way you guys walk all over us. Lucy, so we cast a spell to take away your voices. The others look confused. Laney, I know you're mad at us for it, but there is a way to fix this. The ancient book of spells says we can transfer the effects onto ourselves. Lucy, we're really sorry, but don't worry. Yes, we'll never speak again, but I guess we deserve it for dash. Before she can finish, the others all silently show laughter. Lucy, confused, why are you laughing? Laney, or at least I think it's laughter. Hard to tell because you don't have any voices. Lincoln pokes to his throat and moves his hands up and down. Me, you want us to frost a birthday cake? Lincoln looks unimpressed. Glori takes out a pad and a pen and writes something down and hands it to Lucy. Lucy, reading the message, we didn't take away your voices. The others shake their heads. Laney, then why are you so silent? Lewin hands her sisters her phone, showing a recording of Albert in a shuffleboard game with other people. Once their pop wins, the siblings cheer loudly. Lincoln, Glori, Laney, Luna, Lewin, Lynn, Lana, Lola, and Lisa, lifting him up and chanting him pop. Pop pop. Pop pop. The video ends. Lucy, you lost your voices at Pop's shuffleboard match. They nod. Me, your grandpa won. Way to go. Very, congratulations to him. But you all got laryngitis from it? They nod. Me, that stinks. You strained your voices too hard. Lucy, but what about my other spells? Glori, I killed your phone. Glori points to her phone charging. Lucy, oh. So the battery just died. Me, boy, I hate it when that happens. Lucy, but Lana, what about my spell to make your butt itch? Lana shows her some poison ivy outside by a tree and makes a circular motion with her finger. Lucy, you rolled around in poison ivy again. Me, oh. That is painful. One time my dad took me onto the golf course to collect golf balls lost in the woods and I accidentally touched some poison ivy with my leg and I was itching like there's no tomorrow. Lana starts dragging her butt across the carpet, still suffering from the itch. Charles pops out from under Glori's bed and joins Lana in butt dragging. Laney, okay. But what about you, Lincoln? I cast a spell and turned you into a statue. Lincoln shakes his head and he and Lynn chased around the room. Lynn touches him and Lincoln freezes up like a statue. Laney, oh, you were playing freeze tag? Lynn and Lincoln nod. Me, I love freeze tag. Play that all the time in gym class. Laney, but what about Lola? I made her lose her hair. Lola shakes her head and holds out a green bottle. Very, what's that stuff? Hair gel? Lola points to Lisa. Laney, oh, Lisa's experimental hair gel. Lola nods and uses Lisa's hair gel and more of her hair falls out. Lola is silently shocked. Laney, wait. Luna. I made a spell to remove your music from your guitar. Luna shakes her head and pushes in the amp from her room and tries to play her guitar, but no sound was coming out. She banged on the amp. Me, there's something wrong with your amp. Let me take a look at it. I look at the wiring and I discovered that a wire has been burned. Me, here it is. Luna, this wire right here got burned bad. You shorted out the speaker. Luna sees a green wire that leads to her speaker totally charred. Me, to Lisa. Lisa, can you get me some wire clippers, electrical gloves, and a spool of green wire? Lisa went and got me said stuff and I put on the gloves and cut out the burned wire and replace it with a new green wire. Me, there. Try it now. Luna strums on her guitar and it plays sound again. Me, hey, it works again. Luna and me high five. Laney, You're quite the electrician, JD. Me, I help my dad a lot around the house with the wiring. Laney, but, Lenny. I made you cluck like a chicken. Lenny shows Laney a cartoon about a chicken on her phone. Then acts like one to entertain Lily. Lily, you do a really good chicken, Lenny. Very, oh, you were acting like a chicken for Lily. Lenny nods. Lucy, well, what about you, Lisa? Didn't my spell make your fingers sticky? Lisa shakes her head and brings in her board showing a complex equation. Lucy, I don't understand any of that. Me, looks like some kind of formula for a new type of medicine. Lisa holds out a tape recorder and plays a recording. Recording, day 1482 in the lab, accidentally spilled new formula, but turns out to be excellent adhesive. Apply for patent immediately. The recording ends. Me, you inadvertently made some kind of new super glue. No wonder it was so strong. Lucy, okay. Well, I'm still sorry for casting those spells, even if they didn't work. I should have made more of an effort to tell you guys how I felt. Laney, we were just so tired of you all treating us like we don't exist. And when I found out about the spell book I got a little crazy. Me, it happens to some of us, Laney. It's called temporary insanity. Lincoln then writes something on the other side of Lisa's blackboard and flips it over to show it. Lucy, we're sorry, too. Lewin adds something. Laney, reads we'll try not to walk all over you anymore. Lenny goes up to the board and draws a tic-tac-toe grid with an X in the lower left square. Lucy, okay. Thanks, Lenny. Luna notices the time on the alarm clock and signals Lucy by pretending to have fangs. Lucy, what? Oh. My show's on. The others signal her to come along. Lucy, you guys want to watch it, too? They give her a thumbs up. Me, let me cure your voices. Watch this. Chant an incantation Vestiga Piana Saraza. Rainbow light comes out of my hands and it hits Lori, Lenny, Luna, Lewin, Lynn, Lincoln, Lana and Lola and Lisa, and their voices came back. Lana, my voice. It's back. Lori, what did you do, JD? Me, I can use light and dark magic for real. Laney, me and Lucy saw JD cast a spell up in the attic and it turned a stack of phonograph records into chocolate coins. Lily, let's show you. We go into the attic and Lola takes a lot of chocolate coins. Me, see. Lincoln, wow. This is amazing. Me, let's go downstairs guys. Lucy, that's awesome. We'll be right down. I just have to take care of one thing. Lucy and Laney are putting all the things she found in the trunk away. Laney, well, I certainly learned my lesson. Next time I'll just talk to my siblings before doing anything rash like casting spells on them. Even though they never worked, but still. It sure was great to finally know that magic is actually real. Lucy, for all it's worth, you would have made a great witch. Laney, thanks, but I wouldn't use the term witch. So, you coming? Lucy, yeah, just a minute. I'll catch up. Laney walks downstairs. Lucy then talks to the photo of Great-Grandma Harriet. Well, Great-Grandma Harriet, I guess this book of spells didn't work after all. Holds up a photo of her and her siblings. But that's okay. Because I got a pretty magical result all the same. She puts the photo of her and her siblings next to Harriet's. Just then, a lightning flash occurs, and the photo of Harriet mysteriously changes her expression from a frown to a smile. The end. Another great fanfiction completed. I decided to show that I can use light and dark magic. I got the idea from my books at home. See you next time. Chapter 26, Homespun. It starts at me, Very, Ed, Double D and Eddie walking up to the loud house. I knock on the door and Lincoln answers it. Lincoln, hey guys. Come on in. Eddie, so what's happening Lincoln? Lincoln, just doing my chores for the day. Eddie, Snoresville. Me, need some help? A crash is heard. Lori, ah. Dang it. In the kitchen, Lincoln is taking out the trash when we hear Lori scream. Lincoln, sounds like someone got trapped in the bathroom again. Very, uh-oh. Upstairs, Laney runs out of her room and towards the bathroom. Laney, is everything okay in there? Inside the bathroom, Lori, wearing a bathrobe and towel on her head, is holding the doorknob to the bathroom door, which just broke off. She growls at this. Lori, no. I'm locked in the stinking bathroom. Now let me out. Bobby's coming over to study, and I only have 3 hours to get ready. Laney tries to open the door, but the knob broke off and sees through the hole. Lori struggles to open the bathroom door, when suddenly, she slips. She grabs hold of the shower curtain, but it rips off. The pole holding the curtain bonks Lori on the head. Lori growls even louder at this string of events. Laney bashes through the door hang on Lori falls down a hole in the bathroom floor. I catch Laney as she fell. Me, are you alright, Laney? Laney, yes, JD. Thanks to you. Lori, this house is literally falling apart. Lincoln, to the viewers Lori's right. With 12 kids, 4 pets, and 2 parents who insist on fixing everything themselves, our house is a bit of a, how do I put this nicely, disaster. Me, it sounds like you guys have a lot of house problems. Lincoln, yep. Flashback to Lana and Lola brushing their teeth. Lincoln, voiceover you've got the faulty water pressure. Lana puts her mouth under the faucet, and turns the water pressure on, but nothing comes out. Lola is ticked off at Lana's uncouth method of rinsing her mouth. Lana, leaving the bathroom at. I'll go borrow some water from Charles's bowl. Lola, try to have a little dignidash. As Lola was talking, the increased water pressure from the pipes breaks loose, spewing water onto Lola, flinging her into the trash can. Flashback to Luna arriving home late at night with her music equipment. Lincoln, and the creaky floorboards. As Luna enters the house, she gives a hang-loose hand gesture and tiptoes over to the staircase. She steps on the first step, making a loud creaking sound. This alerts Lynn Sr., scaring Luna. Lynn Sr., Lori. Lenny. Lewin. Lincoln, don't forget about the rotting wood. Luna tries to grab hold of the handrail, but the entire staircase breaks apart. As Luna stands back up, Lynn Sr. flashes a light at her. Lynn Sr., Luna. Flashback to Lincoln adding the finishing touches to a model pirate ship. Lincoln, then there's the clunky furnace. Lincoln has just added the captain on the ship. Well, Captain. After 13 weeks of careful construction, your ship is finally ready. As Lincoln looks on with pride, the furnace begins rattling. As Lincoln holds his model ship in fear, the furnace spews out some soot, covering Lincoln with it and damaging his model ship. Flashback to Lynn Sr. adjusting the TV antenna on a windy day. Lincoln, and the crummy TV signal. Inside the house, the kids are complaining that the TV is fuzzy again. Rita is outside putting pillows on a trampoline just in case Lynn Sr. falls off. A sheet of foil lands on Lynn Sr.'s face, blinding him. His vest gets caught on the TV antenna, causing him to get tangled in the antenna. Lynn Sr., panic-stricken, something's got me. Inside the house, the TV signal is back, as a Peanuts-esque show appears on the screen. Lewin, wait. Wait. That's perfect. As the loud kids cheer at the signal being back, Lynn Sr. falls off the roof, along with the TV antenna, causing the signal to be lost again. Loud kids, aw. Flashback to a series of moments where doorknobs and door handles broke off. Lincoln, and the doorknob situation. Lisa, doorknob dang it. Laney, fridge door handle dang it. Lynn, doorknob dang it. Lucy, attic cord dang it. Lori, doorknob dang it. Lily, faucet handle dang it. Luna, flusher handle dang it. Lincoln, doorknob dang it. Laney, doorknob oh come on. And flashback. Lincoln has just gotten the trash to the curb, where the mailbox is all banged up and patched up. Me, boy it sounds like you guys are in need of some serious home repair. Very, yeah. Eddie, no kidding. Lincoln, yeah. Thinking and I feel like there's something I'm leaving out. The mailbox falls onto his foot. Yeah. Right. The mailbox. Puts it back up ridiculous. There wasn't even a breeze. Cut to Lisa with the weather machine and wearing a slicker and hat. Lisa, actually, according to my meteorological instruments, a big storm's a brewin'. Perhaps a tornado. Me, gasp a tornado. Lincoln, doubtful what? No way. Cut to the TV with the weather report. Patchy drizzle here with an urgent weather bulletin. A tornado watch has just been issued for the Royal Woods area. Everyone except Lisa gasps. Lisa, sighs try and keep up, Patchy. Rita, all right, kids, everyone down to the basement. Your father and I have to secure the TV antenna. Lynn Sr. I call trampoline. The basement. Lisa's weather machine is set and the kids and pets are all secured with pillows for comfort on the hard floor and chatting about the situation with concern. Me, this is bad. This is bad. This is very, very bad. Very, yeah. Ed, holds up a pickle. Eddie, shut up Ed. Twins, holding each other tight I'm scared. Lisa, fear not. A tornado watch doesn't mean a twist is coming, but rather that conditions are right for one. Besides, most residential structures can withstand wind speeds of up to 80 miles per hour. Lewin, or, in the case of our house, 2 mph. Laughs and everyone else, except Laney, laughs with her. Eddie, laughs good one, Lewin. Laney, what do you mean? Lynn, maybe this old heap will blow away, and then we can get a new house. Laney, what? Lola, sighs dreamily I'll finally get my castle. Lori, texting on her phone ugh. I can't believe I have to postpone my study date with Bobby after I did. Showing her bod, all this. Laney, wait. Maybe you're being too hard on the house. This place has gotten us through some bad times. Lori, mostly because IT caused all those bad times. Me, come on guys. A man's home is his castle. Very, yeah. You guys have lived here for a while. Luna, dudes. Remember the first time Bobby came over to Casa Loud? Flashback to Bobby's first visit to the Loud house. He is dressed maturely with a white shirt and tie and carrying an Italian gift basket. He approaches the door but falls through the porch and gets stuck. Lori and her parents open the door with the oldest sister looking on with concern. Bobby, Mr. and Mrs. Loud. Het. It's an honor to finally meet you. Extends hand which is now covered in marinara sauce. Lori, gasps Boo Boo Bear. You're literally bleeding. Bobby, oh. Chuckles and shakes sauces off no worries, babe. It's just marinara sauce. Ahem. Could I please use your restroom? In the bathroom, Bobby is trying to use the sink, but the water isn't coming out. Suddenly, a shake and rattle comes out and a jet of water blasts Bobby against the wall. Lucy can see him through the hole in the bathroom floor next to the toilet. Lucy, so, you're Lori's new love interest. Bobby yelps and flinches and grabs the doorknob only for it to come off. Bobby, Dang it. And flashback. Glori reminisces with passion and her siblings laugh. Glori sighs dreamily. Fortunately, our love was strong enough to overcome any obstacle. Sternly including creepy sisters who spy on my dates. Referring to Lucy. Lucy, please. You can't expect to have privacy in this house. Flashback to Lucy and Lynn trying to sleep. Lucy, inhales sigh. Inhales sigh. Inhales sigh. This wakes Lynn up. Lynn, okay, you've been doing that for 10 minutes. What's wrong, Luce? Laney, you can tell us. Lucy, rises up. Don't tell anyone, but shows Lynn a book called Hungry Like a, with a werewolf on the cover. I've been reading this new book series about a werewolf, and it feels like I'm cheating on Edwin. Shows her Edwin poster with a little drawing of her taped to it. Laney, well, you shouldn't be, because you're not really cheating on anyone. I mean, Edwin's just a creepy old headpiece. Lucy, you take that back. Lola, having overheard this from her room, I'd stick with the vampire. Werewolves are hairy and gross. Yuck. Lana, which is exactly why she should go for one. Howls. Glori, having overheard it, too, but Edwin was her first love. Me, also overhearing it yet, and even though vampires and werewolves are both awesome creatures of the night, Edwin is way cooler than a werewolf. Very, mermaids are just as awesome as vampires and werewolves. Laney, how can you guys hear that? Glori, these walls aren't exactly made of steel. Lynn Sr. Also having overheard it, don't these books sound a little old for Lucy? Rita is reading the Mom Jeans Ultimatum. Rita, of course not, dear. When I was a girl, I read a series about a cute lumberjack. Lucy places her pillow over her face and falls back. Lucy, groan. And flashback. Everyone except Lucy is laughing. Lucy, inhales sigh. Lisa, I still fail to grasp your dilemma, as both would-be suitors of vampires and werewolves minus mermaids are mythological beings. Lucy, my point was that our walls are ridiculously thin. Me, yeah, these walls in this house are as thin as paper. You can punch a hole in them and not get hurt? Lenny, yeah. Not to mention leaking. Flashback to Lenny working on a new dress. The roof starts to leak. Lenny, uh-oh. She stops it with her ruler, but then the leak comes in through the wall. She stops it with her foot. Eventually, all different spots in the room are leaking and she covers the last one with her pincushion in her mouth. Lenny, got it? Here's her phone vibrating, dang it. And flashback. Lenny, and it wasn't even raining. Someone just flushed the upstairs toilet. Lewin, you're in trouble then. Laughs to rimshot, get it? Her siblings groan for the umpteenth time, while me, very, and Eddie laugh, ah, come on. It was funny. The weather machine is going off and Lisa has the results. Lisa, good news. Wind speeds have decreased significantly. We should be out of this asbestos-ridden dungeon soon. Her siblings and the pets cheer. Laney, do we have to say goodbye to our home? Lynn, why not? Didn't do any good for us. Me, well, if this house gets destroyed, you all can stay at my mansion. We got lots of room. The loud siblings hug me. Lincoln, thank you JD. You're a true friend. Lily, I love you JD. Me, thanks guys. Glori, at least it's not flooding like it did in the last big storm. Me, what happened? Flashback to the aftermath of the previous storm Glori mentioned. The entire basement is flooded with the faucet leaking. Lisa, I'll get the buckets. Many buckets later. Glori, last one. She passes it to Lenny, who passes it to Luna, who passes it to Lewin, who passes it to Lincoln, who passes it to Lucy, who passes it to Lana, who passes it to Charles, who passes it to Lola, who passes it to Lisa, who passes it to Laney, who dumps the water in the backyard. Pause flashback. Laney, but don't you guys remember what happened after that? Resume flashback. After the last bucket, Lynn gasps and notices something. Lynn, hey, guys. Check it out. They made a swimming hole in the backyard from the storm water. Lynn, cannonball. Dives right in. Everyone except Glori jumps in. Glori, ew. I'm not swimming in grody basement water. Lynn resurfaces. Lynn, hey, Glori. I found your missing earring. Holds up said earring. Glori, gasps the one from Bobby. Cannonball. Dives right in. And flashback. The kids were happy to remember that time. Me, you guys made a swimming hole in your backyard with the flood water? Neat. Ed, cool. Ed, if I saw it I would gladly build a fully functional swimming pool for you all. Lincoln, thanks Double D. Lynn, yeah, I guess sometimes, living in a crummy house isn't all bad. Lincoln, yeah, like the time possums got in through the holes in the roof and chewed up the wiring. Flashback to that time. The last possum has just fled through the hole. The family is up in the attic where Rita has some bad news. Rita, sorry, kids. Till we get new cables, there's gonna be no TV or internet. The kids respond with despair. Laney, I never needed TV or internet to have fun. Lynn Sr., she's right, kids. In fact, I think I know how to possum the time. Ha ha. His kids, even Lewin, groans at his joke. Laney, wow. Even Lewin didn't think that was funny. Lynn Sr., guess what old dad found? Glori, hopeful a wireless hotspot. Lynn Sr. Even better. Shows them a series of books, my old Pioneer Boy books from when I was a kid. They're about a plucky young lad and his family crossing this great nation in a covered wagon. You guys are gonna love 'em. The kids except Laney all have unimpressed and bored looks on their faces. Later, they're seen reenacting the pioneer days inspired by the books and dressing the part. Lincoln is riding in a toy wagon with his Starship Grouper's sleeping bag as a cover. Luna and Lana are playing bluegrass music with Lily dancing to the beat. Lenny and Lola are trying on old showgirl outfits as Lenny laughs. Laney was dressed as Annie Oakley and was shooting pop guns at aluminum cans. Glori has embroidered a hoop of Bobby, while Lucy has sewn one of a cow skull. Lynn is pushing a hoop with a stick. Luann is juggling horseshoes, and Lisa is making different kinds of old-fashioned tonics. Luann drops one of her horseshoes on her foot. Luann, ow. Lisa, in a southern accent, fret not, lassie. One drop of my mugwump elixir will soothe every ache and pain. And flashback. Glori, that did turn out to be fun. The others agree. Lisa, yes, indeed. Lynn, that was pretty cool. Me, you guys will have to do it again sometime so I can see what it was like. Eddie, I play a really good John Wayne. Lola, that was almost as fun as the time the air conditioner went crazy, and Dad couldn't turn it off. Flashback to that time where Lynn Sr. is struggling with the AC. It blasts a bit and he runs off in fear. Inside, the living room has become a winter wonderland for the kids who are in their winter clothes and having fun ice skating, building a snowman, and having a snowball fight. And flashback. Luna, you know, dudes, maybe we been too hard on the old crib. It's got some perks. Like the wicked slanty floors. Flashback to a good meal with Lincoln and his older sisters at the grown-up table. Luna, leaning chair toward the kitchen and the kiddie table. Yo, Lance. Pass the gravy. Lana puts the gravy boat on the floor and it slants over to Luna. And flashback. Luna, laughs, you never have to get up to grab some grub. Lynn, or a fresh roll of TP. Flashback to Lynn using the toilet while reading the sports section without any toilet paper. Lynn, guys. I need a reload. One of them tosses her a roll from the hole and she grabs it. And she makes the snag. And flashback with them all laughing. Eddie, raising his hand, oh. I have a memory I'd like to share and it's about that tree in the backyard. Lincoln, oh yeah, that tree has gotten us through some good times, hasn't it? We all agree. Eddie, well, this one is about me and Lewin. Lewin, really? Eddie, yeah, it was a few days ago. You had just showed me some good jokes for a special comedy company, but they didn't like them at all. They rejected you. You felt awful and you wanted to quit. Cuts to a flashback of that moment. Me, very, and all the loud kids minus Lewin are standing in the living room looking worried. Just then, Eddie comes in with a sign that says "Well done, Lewin" on it. Eddie, woohoo. Yay Lewin. Yeah dash, Eddie notices their worried looks. Guys, what's going on? Why do you look so worried? And where's Lewin? Lincoln, worried she's outside in the backyard, crying. Me, worried the people at the comedy company hated her jokes. Angry bunch of imbeciles. They wouldn't know good comedy if it hit them in the nose. Lucy, she hasn't stopped crying since she got back. Eddie, oh no. Well, let me go talk to her. Eddie ran outside to the backyard with a box of tissues in his hand and sees Lewin sobbing under the tree. Her joke notebook was right next to the tree. He goes up to her. Eddie, Lewin. Are you okay? She turns and instantly hugs him. Lewin, sobbing hard, oh Eddie. It went horrible. They said my jokes are stupid and atrocious. They're a total disgrace. Like the worst kind of jokes ever known. She continues to sob and Eddie continues to hug her. Eddie, sighs, I'm sorry Lewin. They touch noses. Lewin, do you think my jokes are funny, Eddie? Eddie, they are more than just funny. They're hilarious. You showed them to me yesterday and I thought they were comedy gold. And if that company can't see that, then they're just a bunch of humorless nimrods. Lewin, I don't know, they said I wasn't worth following in comedy footsteps. Maybe I should just quit comedy. Eddie, gasp, Lewin. Don't say that. You love comedy and you're really good at it. Don't let those humorless nimrods at that company tell you that you're not good. Keep going, keep doing what you love. I would feel awful if you gave up. Lewin, sniffs, thank you Eddie. Eddie, hands her the box of tissues, tissue. Lewin, sure. She uses the tissues and hugs Eddie. Lewin, Eddie, there's something I need to tell you. Eddie, sure Lewin. You can tell me anything. Lewin, when I was at that building and I thought I was gonna bomb, there was only one person who I was thinking of, and it wasn't who I thought it'd be. It was you Eddie. I kept thinking, I hope I make it through this so I can see my little Eddie's face again. Eddie, really? Lewin, moves closer to him and takes his hands, there's only one boy who's always been there for me. Who makes me feel like I'm more than I ever thought I could be. Who helped me get better after I broke up with Benny. That I'm just me. And that's okay. The truth is, I love you. She gazes into Eddie's eyes and sheds a tear. Oh, I love you so much, Eddie. She grabs Eddie and kisses him on the lips. This lasts for about 2 minutes. The moment she lets go he moans. Eddie, Lewin, I just have one thing for you. Eddie goes up to her and starts making out with her again. Cuts back to the present where Lewin's siblings are eyeing at the flashback while Eddie and Lewin hug each other. Loud siblings minus Lewin, a woof 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 woof. I shed tears of happiness for them. Me, sniffs and wipes away the tears, that was beautiful. Very, yes it was. I'll never forget that. Ed, isn't love beautiful double D? Ed, it sure is Ed. I can tell that Eddie and Lewin were made for each other. Laney, I agree double D. Eddie, best 2 minutes of my life. Lewin, to Eddie, me too. They kiss again. Laney, let's review some more memories. Lincoln, the broken doorbell can come in handy, too. Flashback to a time they ordered pizza and the delivery guy presses the doorbell only to be shocked by its faulty wiring. He drops all the boxes meant for the louds and runs off. The kids answer and smack their lips with hunger. End flashback. Lincoln, I can't remember the last time we paid for pizza. The kids laugh some more. Laney, and don't forget the super springy couch. Flashback to when Laney was reading a book. When she got excited at a certain moment, she started to bounce lightly. When she noticed this, she started jumping on it and she started to giggle, until it bounced her so high that she smashed a hole in the ceiling. Luna, off-screen occupado. Laney, sorry, Luna. Flashback ends and we all laugh again. Lynn, guess that explains why we have that hole. And boy did that come in handy. Lori, we got it, Lynn. Lynn, oh. Okay. Just wanted to be sure. Lily, walks up to the wall. I have a great memory, it was Mom and Dad's anniversary weekend. Flashback to said weekend. The parents are driving off and the kids wave goodbye. Kids, bye. Have fun. Lincoln, okay, guys, it's time to put Operation Paint the Peeling House to give Mom and Dad the greatest anniversary gift ever and also think of a shorter name for this operation. Into action. The kids go into the garage. Lucy, I still think adjacent burial plots would have been a better gift. Nothing says romance like eternity. The others just slowly inch away from Lucy after hearing that. Later, as Lincoln puts on the last coat, the horn sounds. Lincoln, they're back. Paint brushes down. Their parents step out of the car and find their house completely covered in a rainbow nightmare. Loud kids, surprise. Happy anniversary. Lynn Sr. and Rita, appalled good, gravy. Lincoln, so, you like it? Lynn Sr. and Rita, The kids are immediately painting the house back to the way it was before. Lily paints a handprint on the side of the quick, and the others follow suit, each colored handprint matching their themed color. Lynn Sr. Tear-stricken best, anniversary gift, ever. End flashback. Lewin, that was a great story, Lily. Lily, thanks Lewin. Me, that operation would have been Operation Rainbow Anniversary. Lincoln, that's a perfect name. We all laugh again. Just then, Lisa's weather machine goes off again. Me, uh-oh. I don't like the sound of that. Lori, concerned what's going on? Is the storm over? Lisa, Actually, wind speeds have increased significantly. Meaning the tornado watch is about to become a tornado warning. The siblings gasp in fear, and a siren on Lisa's weather machine begins blaring. And there it is. Rita and Lynn Sr. enter the basement. Lynn Sr., nobody panic. Thunder roars outside. Very, here it comes. Lynn, regretful, I guess it's not such a bad house after all. Lisa, definitely. As the sisters agree with Lynn's statement, the sound of thunder begins roaring like crazy, causing the light in the basement to begin flickering and wind starts blowing violently. Lana, I don't want our house to blow away. Lynn, me neither. Lisa, I take back what I said before. Lewin, yeah, we have so many memories in these walls. Luna, I'm sorry I ever ragged on this place. Lynn, me too. Lenny, we're so sorry, house. Lola, me too. Lana, me three. Laney, we been through so much together. I don't wanna lose you. Lincoln, me neither. Confessing you might be old and creaky and full of leaks, but you're ours. And we love you. Me, it was a pleasure to be in your presence. Very, same here. As the winds increase with power, me, very, Ed, Eddie the siblings and the pets begin trembling in fear at the impending doom that's about to hit us. After 8 seconds of cowering, the winds suddenly cease, the thunder stops roaring, and the light stops flickering. Lisa checks her machine. Lisa, all clear. Me, wow. That was quick. Lincoln, let's go check on the house. The siblings expect Lynn all run upstairs out of the attic. I hope the house is okay. Lynn, with a roll of toilet paper I'll check the hole in the bathroom floor. Outside. The neighborhood is littered with rubble all over. The siblings and parents are looking at their house with deep concern. A passing bicyclist approaches them. Bicyclist, yikes. You guys were hit hard. The house and Woody's house are revealed to be just the same. Lincoln, nope, this is how our house always looks. And we wouldn't want it any other way. Me, you said it buddy. Laney, and let's keep it that way. Very, I agree. Ed, me too. Ed, I concur. Eddie, same here and I wouldn't have it any other way. Me and Very are going out to survey the damage and see if anyone needs help. Very, we'll be back in a few. Lynn Sr., all right. Be safe. Everyone, back inside. Me and Very fly off. Lynn Sr. attempts to open the door, only for the door handle to break off. Loud family, dang it. Ed, oh for the love of. The end. 2 fanfictions done in one day. That's a record for some. I want to thank Tomperfan for the idea for the romantic scenario to add for this one. This was truly an interesting one. See you next time. Chapter 27, Tornado Aftermath, Homespun Part 2. It starts out with me and Very flying over Royal Woods. We see that there was only some minor damage done to some of the houses. Me, boy, hardly any houses got hit at all. Very, yeah. We were lucky. Me, to the viewers the city had just been hit by a tornado and me and Very are out surveying the damage and looking for anyone that might need some help. Luckily, me, Very and our friends the Louds and the Eds were in the basement of the Loud house when it hit. Tornadoes hardly ever hit Detroit and the last one we got was back in 1997. Very, yeah. Thank goodness. We fly over a bunch of houses and we see a shocking sight. The Santiago residence was completely destroyed and Bobby, Ronnie Ann, and their mom Maria Santiago are sitting on the sidewalk crying. Very, oh, man. That's Bobby's house. Me, what's left of it? It's gone. They took a direct hit. Me and Very land. Me, Bobby, Ronnie Ann. Thank goodness you guys are all right. Bobby, JD amigo. Thank you. But our house is not. Crying. Ronnie Ann, we lost everything in the tornado. We have no place to go. Me, Very, you better get Lori and Lincoln down here. Very, I'm on it. Very pulls out her clamshell cell phone and dials Lori's phone. Lori, on Very's phone hello. Very, Lori, it's Very. Bobby and Ronnie Ann's house has been completely destroyed. Lori, gasp, are they all right? Very, yes. They are. Lori, me and Lincoln will be right over. Very, okay. Hangs up. Me, are Lori and Lincoln on their way? Very, yes, they are. 10 minutes later, Vanzilla pulls up and Lori and Lincoln are in it. Lori, Bobby Boo Boo Bear. Lori and Lincoln get out and Lori hugs Bobby. Lincoln, thank goodness you guys are okay. Ronnie Ann, yeah we are okay. But we lost everything. Look. Ronnie Ann shows us the destroyed house. Lincoln, man. You guys got hit head on. Me, yeah. It was a direct hit on them. Let's search through the rubble and see if we can find some stuff that we can save. Maria, okay. We dig through the remains of the destroyed Santiago residence and find the stove, refrigerator, and all the food in the pantry still intact. Ronnie Ann's room is still there, but Bobby's is completely gone. Maria's room was half destroyed, but some of her clothes and furniture were still intact. Bobby's work clothes are still intact. Me, well, some of the house is salvageable. But the rest is completely gone. Mrs. Santiago, do you guys have homeowners insurance? Maria, I'm afraid not, JD. Bobby's jobs provide the money for my family, including my job as a nurse at the hospital. Me, oh man. Well, our only option is to have you guys live in the loud house until you guys get back on your feet. Lori would like that. Right? Bobby, I think she would. What do you think, babe? Lori hugs Bobby. Lori, I would love that, Bobby Boo Boo Bear. Lincoln, I would like having Ronnie Ann in my house. Ronnie Ann, me too, Lamo. Bobby, JD, where other houses hit besides ours? Me, no. We surveyed the whole area of Royal Woods and found that only your house was a near total loss. Very, we'll have to talk this over with Mr. Lin and Ms. Rita. Back at the loud house, Vanzilla drives up with Lori, Lincoln, Maria, Bobby, and Ronnie Ann. Me and Very land, and we all see that Double D had fixed up the entire loud house completely good as new. It was also expanded and made bigger than before. We were shocked. Me, what happened to the house while we were gone? Ed, off screen I renovated the whole place while you were gone. Very, Double D. You are amazing. You should be a home contractor. Ed, thank you Very. I figured because the Loud family lives under such small accommodations and poor housing mechanics, I decided to expand and upgrade the house. Me, I'm not surprised. It looks great, Double D. Lincoln, I guess our home repairs have been fixed. What do we owe you, Double D? Ed, no charge, Lincoln. I build a lot of stuff, so I figured I could help out. Lincoln, thanks Double D. You're a good friend. Very, let's go check it out and get Maria, Bobby, and Ronnie Ann settled in after talking to Mr. Lin and Ms. Rita. We all check it out, and the living room had better furniture, larger television, a great video game system, and nice decorative furniture. The kitchen now looked like a commercial restaurant kitchen. All the siblings' rooms were bigger, and Lincoln now doesn't live in a converted linen closet anymore. Lola and Lana's room have a glass divider wall with a door in the middle. Lana's room is a jungle filled with all kinds of plants and her animal friends. Lola's room is now a pageant stage and princess castle. Lucy's room is a dark vampire crypt. Lisa's room is now a fully functional high-tech laboratory. Lori's room is now a makeup studio. Lenny's room is now a full-fledged fashion design studio. Luna's room is now a rock and roll recording studio. Lewin's room is now a comedy gag studio and April Fool's pranking simulator. Lynn's room is now a sports practice room loaded with equipment. Lily's room is now a huge beautiful aquarium with lots of colorful fish. Laney's room is an art studio and library. Lincoln's room is now an arcade and has lots of space to have fun. The walls are thicker and sound can't get through them. The pipes are now stronger than ever and the air conditioner is fixed, and more. Me, wow. Double D. You've really made this house a great paradise. Ed, thank you JD. Me and Very later told Lynn Sr. and Rita what happened to Maria, Bobby, and Ronnie Ann. Lynn Sr., so their house has been destroyed. Me, yeah. Almost nothing left. Rita, well, of course you three can stay here. Lynn Sr., yeah. Welcome to the loud house. Friends. There were separate rooms down in the basement. Maria lives in the second master bedroom. Bobby and Ronnie Ann each have their own room in the basement. Bobby's room is a special room that has all sorts of gadgets and his work clothes and more, and it has a special communication view window that goes into Lori's room. Ronnie Ann's room has all her stuff from home in it, like her clothes, pictures of her and Lincoln and more. It was a grand time for the Louds and the Santiagos. The end. Another fanfiction done. I wanted to make a sequel to the episode Homespun. It's an original episode within an episode, if you will. Until next time. See you then. Chapter 28, No Guts, No Glory. It starts out with me, Very, Woody and Eddie arriving at the Loud house. I knock on the door and Lynn Sr. opens the door. Lynn Sr., hello guys. Come on in. Me, thanks Mr. Lynn. Eddie, hey L Sr. What's up? Lynn Sr., not much Eddie. Where's Ed and Double D? Eddie, oh they couldn't come today. They decided to spend time with their mom and dad. Lynn Sr., oh that's okay. We go up to Lincoln's room, where he is enjoying a nice glass of lemonade with a crazy straw. Me, hi, Lincoln. Lincoln, hey guys. Very, what ya doing? Lincoln, well, it's Friday night. You survived another week of school. Now it's time to kick back, forget your troubles, and crack open a brand new video game. Gets out a copy of Super Mega Brawlers Turbo Fighter and smells it. Love that new game smell. Suddenly picks up another scent, and we do too. Me, that doesn't smell like new video games. Very, it smells like fresh flowers in the springtime. Woody, it smells really good. Lincoln, wait a minute. Sniffs again. Is that, oh no. Soon, his sisters start picking up the scent as well. Lucy, sniff. Sniff. Lincoln, mom's expensive perfume. Which can only mean one thing. Checks the calendar and finds out what tonight is, date night. Which can only mean one other thing. Rita, Lori's in charge. Do as she says. Bye. Leaves? Lincoln, no. She gets a sick thrill from bossing us around. In this house, we call her the Queen of Dash. Lori, from upstairs no. Unplugs Luna's amplifiers, no music. Tosses Lana's mud pie in the trash, no mud pies. Approaches Lenny who's talking on the phone, no dash. Lenny, way. That's totes cray cray. Lori, hangs up Lenny's call, no phone calls. Takes away Laney's book, no reading. Laney, hey. You can't just. Lori gave Laney an intimidating look. Laney, never mind. Lori, takes away Lincoln's game and no video games. Lori dresses up in a military uniform and blows a whistle that summons me, Very, Eddie, Woody and Lori's siblings, Bobby, Ronnie Ann, and the pets to the front room. I stand in attention saluting her. Lori, at ease. Everyone feels calmer now and I still stand in attention, just kidding. Nobody is to be at ease in my presence. The others regain their forms, as you know, Mom and Dad left me in charge. That means, you have to do as I say, whether you're tall, short, or covered in fur and can only understand the word sit. Charles, Cliff, and Geo sit down on command, but Walt tips over in his attempt and knocks Geo's hamster ball to the side. Lori, busts out a chart of tonight's schedule. Now, here is our schedule for this evening. 6 to 7 o'clock, sitting on bed with arms folded. 7 to 7:30, chow. 7:30 to 8 o'clock, thorough cleaning of mess hall. 8 o'clock, staring at wall until falling asleep. Everyone got that? Me, Very, Woody, Eddie, Bobby, Ronnie Ann, Lincoln, Lenny, Luna, Lewin, Lynn, Lucy, Laney, Lola, Lisa, and Lily, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Lana, sir, yes, sir. Lori glares at Lana for calling her sir. Me, I salute General Lori, ma'am. Lori, General Lori. I like the sound of that. What is it, soldier? Me, you would make a great military commanding officer for the army, ma'am. Lori, To me thank you. To everyone else everyone but JD, dismissed. Everyone but me rushes back to their rooms while Gio hops in his ball up each step. Lori, why did you call me General Lori, JD? Me, sorry, Lori. It's a force of habit. Whenever I get involved in a military type scenario I pretend like I'm part of the military. Lori, oh I get it. Well that's okay. Thanks for the military rank. Do you think I would be a good general? Me, you definitely have what it takes. My grandfathers both fought in World War II and one carry them close to my heart and in memory. Lori, that's very thoughtful. Anyway. Dismissed. I salute and march up to Lincoln's room. In Lincoln's room, me, Very, Woody and Lincoln are sitting on Lincoln's bed with our arms folded. Me, this sucks eggs. I thought we were gonna have fun tonight. I guess it's gonna be a boring day. Lincoln, determined not if I have to say anything about it. Lincoln opens his door and puts a note in Gio's hamster ball. Lincoln, hey, Gio. Want a snack, boy? Tosses the snack over to Lola and Lana's door. Gio rolls over, opens his ball, gets the treat, and gets the twins' attention. Lincoln does this with his other sisters. The note tells them to meet in Lincoln's room and they sneak over to Lincoln's room. Lewin and Eddie had camouflaged themselves with the wall and sneak in. Laney is the only one who still hasn't snuck out of her room. She begins to sneak by her while wearing a scarf. Lori, suspicious Laney, what are you doing? Laney, I'm not Laney. I'm wearing a scarf. Lori, not fooled one bit, you've got 5 minutes to do your business. Laney goes out and sneaks over to Lincoln's room to join the others for a big meeting. Lola, this better be good. You know how much trouble we'll be in if Lori finds out we're not in our rooms. Eddie, Lincoln, I didn't know Lori was so strict about having everyone in their rooms when she babysits. Lincoln, rooms. More like prison cells. Every time Lori's left in charge, she makes our lives miserable. Well, I say no more. It's time to take back our Friday nights. Luna, do you like it when Lori unplugs your amp mid-jam? Luna, it's way harsh. Lincoln, and Lana, how about when Lori throws out your mud pies? Lana, I work hard on those. Lincoln, and Lily, what about when Lori won't let you read about fish and talk to your mermaid friends when they visit? Lily, those mermaids are like my sisters. Lincoln, then let's do something about it. Me, Very, Woody, Eddie, Lenny, Luna, Lewin, Lynn, Lucy, Lola, Lana, Lisa, and Lily, yeah. Laney, wait. We all look at her. I know you guys have a problem with Lori's rules, but we shouldn't resort to breaking them. Lana, yeah right? Like we will take advice from a suck-up? Me, scolding hey. Lana, that was totally uncalled for. Very, yeah. We have enough already to deal with. Laney, suck up? What are you talking about? Lana, you've never broken a rule in your life. Always put in on a goody-goody routine for Lori. Laney, hey. I can be a rule breaker to Lori. Lana, then why can't you? Laney, maybe, because there are some specific rules. Lana, or maybe, you're afraid of her. Lincoln, Lenny, Luna, Lewin, Lynn, Lucy, Lola, Lisa, and Lily, oh. Laney, furious that's it. Count me in. Lincoln, all right now here's the plan. Back in Lori room, Lori is trying to paint her toenails like in 16½ magazine, but she doesn't seem to have gotten it down. Suddenly, Luna's jam is back on, which Lori does not take well as it's going against her orders. Lori, sees Lily playing Lily. What are you dash? Just then, there are some creaks and Lori notices that we are right behind her. We tackle her and she screams for help. Just then, it's revealed that we tied her up to a chair. Lori, furious hey. What is going on? Lincoln, your power trip is over. We're taking back our Friday nights. Glori, power trip. Lincoln, just admit it. You get a sick thrill out of bossing us around. Me, very, Woody, Eddie and the other sisters concur. Glori, you think I enjoy this? Me, well yet. What else would we think? Glori, well, unfortunately, I'm the only one who can keep this house from ending up in a pile of rubble. It's not like any of you could do it. Lana, yeah. Lincoln could. Lincoln, surprised I could. Laney, yeah. He's twice the better babysitter than you. We're thinking Lincoln. Me, you can do it buddy. Me, very, Woody, Eddie, Lenny, Luna, Lewin, Lynn, Lucy, Lola, Lana, Lisa, and Lily, we're thinking Lincoln. We're thinking Lincoln. Lincoln and Glori are flabbergasted at this. Glori, condescendingly Lincoln in charge? Ha! He couldn't lead Cliff to the litter box. Cliff is right next to his little box and suddenly goes right on the carpet. Very, we got 3 words for you, bring. It. On. Lincoln, challenge accepted. Takes the whistle, take her away. The other sisters carry her to her room. Glori, you won't last 5 minutes. Laughs maniacally ha 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 ha. Me, shuts the door. Lola, guard this door. No one goes in, no one comes out. Lola nods in agreement and gets a golf club to guard the door while dressing up as a security guard. Lincoln, say goodbye to the Queen of No. Tosses whistle on the floor, and hello to the King of Yes. Me, very, Woody, Eddie and the sisters cheer in victory. Luna is finally jamming out. Lincoln, yes to music. Cranks the tunes and puts a happy face on Lana's mud pie. Yes to mud. Lenny, on the phone seriously. Lincoln, yes to phone calls. Gives Laney her book. Yes to reading. And yes to video games. Turns his game on. Super Mega Brawlers Turbo Fighter XXIV. Game announcer, round 1, fight. But just before me, Woody, Eddie and Lincoln can finally start playing, Lenny screams and Lincoln pauses the game and we go to see what's wrong. It turns out that Lewin is chasing Lenny around with a rubber spider. Lincoln, okay. Have fun. Just don't get too crazy. Eddie, laughs. Lewin, you always are so funny. That's why I love you. Lewin, chasing Lenny, thanks Eddie, my Joker King. Just then, Luna's amps are at a really high volume. Lincoln, rad sounds. Maybe not so loud. Turns it down a little, which Luna doesn't understand. Me, Woody, Eddie and Lincoln try to get back to our game, but there's a suddenly explosion and the smoke alarm goes off and we go check it out. Lisa comes out of her room. Lincoln, concerned, what was that? Lisa, it's science. You wouldn't understand. Just then, a tentacle grabs Lisa and drags her back in. Ah! The door closes. Me, that was awesome. Eddie, geez Louise. Me, as Ed would say, cool. Lincoln, just keep it on a leash. Just before we can resume his game, we finds Lana casts a fishing rod right into the fish tank. Lincoln, Lana. You can't fish in there. Those are pets. Lynn comes in with a bucket of dirt and pours the dirt on the floor. Very, Lynn. What are you doing? Lynn, can't ride a dirt bike without dirt. Laney, dirt bike. You can't ride a dirt bike in the house. Lynn, what are you gonna do? Tell Glori. Chuckles. Lincoln, give me that bucket. Annoyed by the thought of her being a rule-following suck-up, Laney went to the fridge and grabbed some leftover pizza and went to the dining room. She hid under the table and spotted Lana. Laney, hey Lana. Would a suck-up do this? She then throws a slice of pizza, but Lana dodged it and it hit Lucy instead. It was silent for a moment. Then Lucy had some waffles in her hands. Lucy, game on. They all smiled and they commenced a food fight. Suddenly, me, Very, Eddie, Woody, and Lincoln are in a crossfire of pizza slices and waffles tossed by Lana, Laney, and Lucy, who are having a food fight. He shields himself with a cookie sheet and the pizza and waffles plaster all over it and make a rather gorgeous painting which impresses him. Very, oh. That's a colorful work of food art. Meanwhile at the messed up table, Laney couldn't help but laugh at how much fun this was. Laney, that was great. Lana, I knew you'd come around. Laney, why stop here? We got the whole night to ourselves. What do you say we get really crazy? Lana, now you're talking. Lynn is pouring water from the hose all over the carpet and then gets pegged by an incoming gourd. The hose then starts going wild. Lenny is on the phone while Luan is still chasing her with her rubber spider. Lenny, hi, exterminator guy. Do you do spiders? Seize the hose, ew. What about water snakes? The hose squirts Luan, but she resumes chasing Lenny. Lincoln trips over the telephone wire and lands in the mud and notices Lucy built a fort of Lily's spare diapers and me, Very, Eddie, Lily and Woody are with her. Lincoln, Lucy. What are you doing with all those diapers? Lana screams like a madman and fires a barrage of meatballs. Lucy, incoming. Gets down. Lincoln, takes cover with her only for their fort wall to be damaged. Diaper wall breach. I fire a ketchup squirt bottle gun at Lana as she fires a cupcake at them, but Lucy stops it by plugging up the hole with a bunch of spare diapers. Eddie pulls out a gun that he, Ed, and Double D made at the junkyard in Peach Creek while living Ed's favorite movie Robot Rebel Ranch and fired mustard at Lana and it drenched her. Lily, nice shot Eddie. Eddie, thanks Lily. Luna, for those about to rock. Sets her EMPs to super max and has fireworks all set up for a big finale. Me, duck and cover. Lincoln, Luna. Slow motion dash. Too late, Luna plays a chord and the noise blasts Lincoln right into the wall, which leaves a dent of unsightly residue. Just then, Lori's taunting words echo in his mind. Echo Lori, Lincoln in charge. Ha! He couldn't lead Cliff to the litter box. Cliff is right next to his litter box, but I grab him and place him in the litter box. Me, now you go in the litter box from now on Cliff. Cliff meows and I pet him. Lincoln, thanks JD. Sees the destruction and gets steamed up, unplugs Luna's amps, no guitar playing. Takes Lana's food, no food fights. Stops Lynn from riding her bike in the house, no dirt bikes, and no science experiments. Takes Lisa's beakers and tosses them, causing an explosion. The others aren't too happy with Lincoln suddenly changing his mind. Lynn, who do you think you are? Lori. His sisters minus Laney and Lily start laughing at him and go back to enjoying their Friday night. Lincoln, no. I'm not. Realizing Lori. JD, Very, Eddie, Woody, Laney, Lily. Come on. We got to get Lori. Me, we're right behind you. Very, I've had enough fun for one night. Laney, me too. Lily, same here. Woody, yeah. Eddie, sure. Why not? Luan. Luan, yes, Eddie. Eddie, I've had enough fun for tonight. Luan, me too. I'll go with you. Me, Very, Eddie, Woody, Luan, Laney and Lily head to Lori's room only to be stopped by Lola. Lola, hey. No one goes in, no one comes out. Boss's orders. Me, those were my orders. Let me in. Lola, I'm gonna need you to step back. All of you. Lincoln, sorry about this, Lola. Charges at Lola with a war cry. Lola is about to whack him with the golf club, but I use the force and pull it out of her hands and I grab it. Me, sorry Lola. but Mr. Lin would be really mad if we ruined his golf club. Lewin, yeah. This wouldn't amount to a good slice. Rimshot laughs, get it? Me, very, and Eddie laugh. Me, good one, Lewin. Very, funny. Eddie, that was a good one. Meanwhile, Lori has somehow already broken free of her rope bindings and is filing her nails when the door opens and in comes me, very, Lincoln, Eddie, Woody, Laney and Lily. Lincoln, Lori. Lori. Lori, ha. I knew you wouldn't last 5 minutes. Lincoln, despondently, it's only been 5 minutes. Laney, actually it's been more than 5 minutes, Lori. Lincoln, gets it together, it's a madhouse down there. You've got to help me. Lori, nah. I'm thinking Lincoln. You handle it? Lincoln, I can't. You're the only one who can keep this house from ending up in a pile of rubble. Luna's fireworks go off or ashes. Lori, and Lincoln, I couldn't lead Cliff to the litter box. Me, actually I did, and he knows where to go from now on. Lori, oh. Well, good work, JD. And Lincoln, I'm sorry. Me, very, Laney, Lily, Eddie and Lewin apologize too. Lori, that's all I needed to hear. Puts on military shades, let's roll. Me, salutes, right with you, General Lori. We open the door with Lola still standing guard. Lincoln, I don't know how to get past her. She's an animal. Lori covers his mouth, holds up a pile of glitter, and blows it in Lola's direction. Lola, giddily chases after the sparkly cloud glitter. Me, very clever. Lincoln, impressed, glitter. Nice. Lewin, that sure sparkled. Rimshot laughs, get it? Eddie, laughs, good one, Lewin. We go downstairs where Lincoln shows Lori the chaos caused by their sister's antics. Lincoln, scared, see what I mean? Lori, observe. Busts out her whistle and blows it and gets their attention. Mom and Dad are gonna be home in 10 minutes. The other sisters hurry and get to cleaning up the mess they made. Lincoln, brilliant. Lori, yeah, you learn a few tricks as you get older. Me, I misjudged you, Lori. You really do know what you're doing. Lori, thank you. Hears her phone ringing and answers it. Hello? Uh-huh. Sure. Okay. Bye. Hangs up. Lincoln, who was that? Lori, Mom and Dad. They're gonna be home in 10 minutes. Me, uh-oh. Lincoln, panicking, what are we gonna do? Lori, I got this. Luna. A little clean-up music. Luna, you got it, sis. 3 colorful boxes, 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 purple are shown with Luna preparing to start the montage. She is also colored in to match the boxes like in the show's opening. Luna, 1, 2, 3. Lori blows her whistle and everyone does what they can to clean the house. Lana puts the fish back in the tank. Lisa scrubs up the living room with a soap cannon and the help of her tentacle friend. Lenny and Lewin untangle the phone wire. Lynn uses the hose to clean the kitchen and then puts it outside. Lola ties up some trash and Lynn yanks it up on her dirt bike. They do the finish touches and carry everything else away as if the house was the same as it was when their parents left. Luna, good night, loud house. The other sisters go back to their rooms after a crazy Friday night. Their parents are approaching and just as it seems all is well, there's still a dent in the wall from Lincoln's impact caused by Luna's power cord. Lincoln, gasps the wall. Sees the painting from the food fight. Lori. Catch. Tosses it to Lori. Lori catches it and puts it right over the dent. Their parents enter. Lynn Sr., wow. I can't believe the house is still standing. Lincoln, what did you expect? Lori's in charge. Me, General Lori knows how to handle things. Lynn Sr., General Lori. I think that's a good title for her. Rita, so, what are you guys up to? Lori, oh, we were just about to play a video game. You can't say no all the time. Rita, oh, and look at this lovely piece of food art the kids made. Me, very, Laney, and Lewin read some books and Lori, Lily, Eddie, and Lincoln begin to play some Super Mega Brawlers Turbo Fighter XXIV. Lana comes down and she had a look of guilt on her face. Lana, Laney. Laney, what's wrong Lana? Lana, I'm sorry I called you a suck-up. It was so wrong of me to call you that. Laney, apology accepted Lana. Laney and Lana hugged. Lana, Eddie, JD, I saw those cool sauce blasters you had. Did you make those? Me, Double D showed me how to build stuff out of everyday objects and junk. I invented a ketchup squirt gun that fires ketchup like a pistol. Eddie, Ed gave me his old junkyard blaster from when we were living out one of Lumpy's science fiction movies. I turned it into a mustard blaster. Lana, that is cool. Double D should teach me how to do that someday. Me, I'm sure he would be happy to. Woody, you got to admit this was one crazy night. Very, it sure was Woody. Me, well. It sure was fun though. Woody does his trademark laugh. The end. Another fanfiction done. I wanted to do this one for quite a while. Everything about my grandfathers is true. See you next time. Chapter 29, Roughin It. Episode begins with the show Dreamboat playing. Narrator, will our captivating captain find her first mate, or will it be man overboard? Find out tonight as we set sail for love on, the Dreamboat. Shows me, very, Ed, Double D, Eddie, Woody, Lincoln and his sisters watching, mouths open. Lori, excited eeeeee. Karen should totes pick Bronson, he's, so gorge, I can't even. Luna, no way, dude. What about Brock? He wrote her that sweet jam. Flashback to an episode where Karen is listening to Brock play the accordion. Ed, his talent with the accordion was neutral at best. Very, I play a good pan flute. Lucy, I like Bram. Flashback to another episode, Bram comes out from behind a beach chair looking sneaky. Ed, cool. Lola, you. He gives me the creeps. Lucy, exactly. Me, I would pulverize that freak into next week because he looked like he would hurt Karen in any way, shape, or form. Laney, I like Barry. He made that beautiful painting for her. Flashback to another episode, Barry paints a picture of Karen in the beauty of the amber glow of an ocean sunset. Eddie, that painting was very beautiful. But not as beautiful as you, Lewin. Lewin, giggles, oh Eddie. You know how to paint a picture of love. Laughs, get it? Eddie, laughs, good one. Me, laughs, good one, Lewin. Lenny, I like Bryant. Sniffs a rose, he's so romantic. Flashback to another episode, Karen is with Bryant on the ship's deck. Bryant, Karen, I'll be your North Star. Sighs, cause no matter where this journey takes you, I'll always be there to guide you home. Lisa, North Star? ACH, poppycock. Tree moss is a far more reliable means of navigation, given that it only grows on the north side of trees. The sisters grumble and toss their popcorn at her. Me, I agree with Lisa. The North Star Polaris hasn't always been extremely reliable over the centuries. Very, plus. Bryant was making Karen feel a little uncomfortable. Lily, I like Bruno. He caught a really big fish for her. Flashback to another episode, Bruno pulls in a huge mahi-mahi as big as a car. Fast forwards to the two eating it. Me, that was a really big fish, huh, Lily. Lily, it sure was. Lynn, I like Blaine. Flashbacks to Blaine in another episode. I bet he can bench 300 pounds, maybe 320 with a spot. Me, not to brag but that's nothing compared to what I'm capable of lifting. Lincoln, Blaine? But he wore flip-flops to their first date. I mean, I can't even. We all chatter. Lori, Lincoln, it's so much fun watching this show with you, you're like, literally one of the girls. Lincoln, gasps in shock one of the girls. Flashback to Lincoln's time hanging with his sisters. First, he hangs out in the bathroom with Lori wearing their bathrobes. Lori, applying mud to Lincoln's face. This mud mask is both cleansing and invigorating. Lincoln, oh, my pores are tingling. Now Lincoln is giving Lucy a manicure in her room while he has headlight over her painted nails. Lucy, thanks, Lincoln. I always mess up my right hand. Lola, suddenly in the room. Hey. Someone put her funeral dress in the wash. Shows her splattered dress, with all my pageant gowns. Growls and stomps over to Lucy, who pretends to die, she bonks her on the head. Ugh. I can't rip you apart if you're already dead. Now Lincoln is knitting something with Luna. Lincoln, back 2/1. Luna, you got it, bro. Tries on the headband she knitted. These accessories will make our outfits rockin'. Lincoln, having knitted fringes on the jacket he's wearing. Rocking. Now Lincoln is working on a poncho Laney is wearing. Laney, Lincoln, how's that hem coming? Lincoln, almost done. Laney, thanks. I can wear this poncho for all 5 seasons. Lincoln rolls his eyes at this, and flashback. Lincoln, to the viewers, yikes. Is spending all my time around girls turning me into one? Nah, I'm sure it'll turn out fine. Me too Lincoln. Lynn Sr., wearing a pink apron and holding pink muffins. What did I miss? Did Blaine finally put on some loafers? Lincoln, this show's lame. Let's watch guy stuff. Changes the channel. Sisters, hey. Male TV announcer, a lifetime in the extreme wilderness has made rip hardcore as tough as a $2 steak. Lincoln, now this is my kind of show. Lori, scoff since when? Me, now you're speaking my language, Lincoln. Laney, this is more my kind of show. Lily, mine too. Lynn Sr., oh no, turn it back. We're gonna miss the anchor ceremony. The sisters minus Laney and Lily start fighting Lincoln over the remote. The next day, me, Very, Lincoln, Laney, Lily and Clyde are walking into the woods with our backpacks. Clyde, let me get this straight. You think living with the girls has made you unmanly, so we're spending a weekend in the extreme wilderness so we can turn into steaks? Me, something like that, Clyde. Lincoln, close enough. Now are you ready to get extreme? Clyde, you know it? Me, yeah. Me, Lincoln and Clyde chest bump each other. Laney, I don't know guys. This looks dangerous. Lily, come on Laney. Where's your sense of adventure? Lincoln starts to continue his descent into the woods. Clyde, wait. I promised my dads I'd stay in their sight line. Camera pans out to reveal Howard and Harold at a nearby B&B. Clyde, it's supposed to be a really nice B&B. Me, it is a nice bed and breakfast. Lincoln, facepalms Clyde. How are we supposed to toughen up with your dads watching over us? Drags Clyde into the woods. Clyde, but they were willing to bring us some of their complimentary welcome scones. Me, Very, Lincoln, Laney, Lily and Clyde approach a wooded area by a stream. Lincoln, now this spot looks perfect. Me, oh yeah. Clyde, reads the sign but the sign says no camping here. Extreme danger. Lincoln, exactly. Extreme. Our first order of business, securing shelter. Very, right. Clyde, gets out a tent. My dad's used this tent on a safari last year. It has its own veranda. Laney, need. Lincoln, tough guys don't sleep on verandas. Clyde picks up some twigs, they build their own shelter. The next scene, Lincoln and Clyde's shelter simply consists of the twigs propped up against a tree. Clyde, what a beaut. Lincoln, all in a manly day's work. Me, very. Laney and Lily make a fort out of trees and leaves. Lincoln, now that is better. Laney, thanks guys. My plant powers sure are useful. Lincoln, now, how about we rustle up some grub? Clyde, great. Picks up a picnic hamper my dad made, my favorite, Swiss chard frittata. Lincoln, forget the frittata, Clyde. Tough guys eat beans. Holds out a can of beans. Clyde has prepared a stove and is now putting on an apron. Clyde, were you thinking chili or more of a cassolette? Cut to me, very, Laney, Lily, Clyde and Lincoln eating the beans raw, but they're clearly not enjoying it. Lincoln, feigning delight, mmmmmmmmmmm. Good stuff, right? Clyde, very, tasty. I form a flame in my hands and cook the can over it and the beans boil. Laney, very clever JD. Lily, using your fire powers for that is genius. Me, thanks guys. I do the same thing with Lincoln and Clyde's beans and they ate them. Lincoln, well, we're burning daylight here. Better get started on our campfire. Clyde, way ahead of you. Gets out an artificial campfire. This baby's got LED lights, sick flames, and realistic crackling sounds. Clyde turns on the artificial campfire but Lincoln turns it off. Lincoln, Clyde, tough guys make real fires. Me, I got this. I make a ring of rocks and Laney gathers some sticks and I light them on fire. Clyde, perfect JD. Clyde makes a farting sound. Me, laughs Clyde. Clyde, sorry. Must have been the beans. Lincoln, no need to apologize, Clyde. Tough guys let it all out. Lets out a fart. Very, laughs Lincoln. Clyde, well, in that case. Lincoln and Clyde have so much fun belching and farting. I join them until a bird drops from the sky. The scene changes to nighttime as me, very, Laney, Lily, Lincoln and Clyde are laying their sleeping bags on the ground. Clyde, yawns, all this extreme ruggedness has worn me out. Set up an inflatable mattress. What level of firmness do you want? Lincoln, we don't need that. The ground will be our mattress. Clyde, oh, so extra firm. Me, this is how I sleep when I go camping. Lincoln and Clyde proceed to get into their sleeping bags, start shifting around in them and ultimately end up lying down on top of the inflatable bed inside them. Lincoln, we're tough guys, not animals. Clyde nods. I'm really glad we did this, Clyde. Out here in the woods, away from all the girls. I'm starting to feel like a real man. Clyde, me too. Proceeds to pass gas as he makes the pun and starts laughing. Oh, I think I just found a way to stay warm. Passes gas one more time as Lincoln gives him a disapproving look and turns away from him. Scene switches to morning. Lincoln, yawns, nothing like waking up in dash. Clyde, water. We're in the water. Both of them scream. Me, we're on a raging river. Laney, oh no. Lily, holy mackerel. Lincoln, how did this happen? Flashback to our bed being taken away by rising water levels, then back to Lincoln and Clyde's unamused faces. We notice a waterfall up ahead and scream in terror. Very, waterfall. Lincoln and Clyde, paddle. As we frantically try to paddle, some familiar debris flows down the river. Clyde, hey, isn't that our shelter? Lincoln, it's making a dam. We celebrate. Lincoln, we're saved, and all because we built our own shelter like the dash. Inflatable bed blows up and sends Clyde into a thorn bush. Me, very, Laney and Lily are flying. Clyde, Lincoln. Are you okay? Lincoln, I'm fine, I landed on a really soft rock. Moose gets up in anger. Not a rock, Moose. Me, Moose are very territorial. Run. We proceed to scream in panic and run away from the charging Moose, climbing a tree for safety in the process. Lincoln, ha, nothing too tough guys like us can't handle. Right, Clyde? Moose starts ramming the tree, sending us flying. Clyde, are you okay? Clyde, I'm fine, I landed on a really soft rock. Bees come out of the hive. Not a rock, a beehive. Laney, run. We proceed to running away screaming from the bees as Lincoln and Clyde get stung. Lincoln, this is still nothing tough guys like us can't handle. They stop running, at least it's not raining. Rain starts coming down, is that all you got? Mudslide drags us down the mountain as we continue screaming. We then start panting. Clyde, Lincoln, I know this probably sounds lame to a tough guy like you, but I'm hungry and wet and cold and I kinda wish I were with my dads at the BMV eating welcome scones. Me, yeah. Laney, this is really tough. Lily, I'm no tougha like Rip Hardcore. Lincoln, sighs, I was kidding myself. Clyde, I'm no tough guy. After all those years around all those women, it's too late for me. Now if you don't mind, I'm gonna lie down on this nice, soft rock. Rock turns out to be a bear. Not a rock. Bear. We scream as the bear roars. Lincoln, gets an idea, guys, quick, play dead. We pretend to be dead as the bear checks for signs of life, then leaves when he thinks we're dead. We proceed to run away as soon as the bear leaves. Me, Lincoln, that was genius, buddy. Laney, way to go, big bro. Lily, thanks, big brother. Clyde, Lincoln, that was amazing. How did you know to play dead? Flashback to the Lucy and Lola moment. Lola, I can't rip you apart if you're already dead. Back to the present, me, very, Laney, Lily, Lincoln and Clyde panting. Me, that was a close one. Lincoln, it's something I learned from Lucy. Me, that's our little vampires. Very, we owe you one, Lucy. Laney, thank you, Lucy. Lily, even though she's not here. Clyde, shivering, does she know anything about keeping warm? Lincoln, no, but Lenny does. Flashback to the Lenny and Lincoln moment. Lenny, I can wear this poncho for all 5 seasons. The key is the faux fur lining. Back to the present, we are wearing ponchos made out of leaves. Me, oh. This is really comfy. Clyde, wow, it is so toasty. Laney, yeah. This is perfect for fall weather. Lincoln, the key is the birch bark lining. Now come on, Clyde, we're going home. Clyde, looks around, which way? Lincoln, why, it's just. Look around, lost, this way. We start running. Lincoln, looks at the moss. Lisa said that moss only grows on the north side of trees. Very, so it is far more reliable than the North Star. Lily, Lisa was right. Clyde, my dads are staying at the North Valley B&B. Follow that moss. As we take off running, we later stop in front of a hill. How do we get up there? Me, boy, that's a long way up. Flashback to the Luna and Lincoln moment. Luna, you got it, bro. These accessories will make our outfits rocking. Lincoln, rocking. Luna, and if you braid the strands real tight, they're strong enough to use as ropes. Right, Chunk. Chunk, pulling on a rope right as Rain, love. Notices the piano is too big for the window. We're gonna need a bigger window, though. Back to the present. Lincoln, back to, over 1. Pulls rope to test it. That'll hold. Me, brilliant idea, Lincoln. We start climbing up. Laney, These ropes are really strong. Clyde, this is great, Lincoln. What did you make this rope out of? Lincoln realizes what the rope is made out of and scene switches to us next to a mud pit. Lincoln, this should help the poison ivy. Me, this is very soothing. Flashback to the Lori and Lincoln moment. Lincoln, with mud on his face. Oh, my pores are tingling. Lori, it also soothes sunburn, poison ivy, and mild to moderate acne. As we were running, I hear someone screaming somewhere in the forest. Me, guys, wait. We stop and I put my hand to my ear. Lincoln, what is it? Help me. Laney, it sounds like someone's in trouble. Very, points to a clearing, it's coming from over there. Me, hello. Are you okay? Hurry. I'm sinking. Me, gasp, come on. Let's go. Me, very, Lincoln, Clyde, Laney and Lily run to the clearing and we saw a girl waist deep in quicksand. The girl was Jessie Bannon from The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. Me, gasp, Jessie Bannon. Hang on. Stay calm. Don't move. Jessie, help me. Me, Laney, form a vine rope. Quickly. Laney formed a vine rope and I tied it into a lasso and I swung it around and threw it at Jessie. It landed by her. Me, tie that around your waist. Jessie did so. Me, everyone grab on. Pull. We all pull on the vine rope and we pull her to the land. We pull her out safely. Me, are you all right? Jessie, yes. Thanks to all of you. Lincoln, you're welcome. Me, we should introduce ourselves. My name is James Knudsen. But everyone calls me JD. Very, my name is Very, J.D's fiancé. Lincoln, my name's Lincoln Loud and these are my sisters Laney and Lily. Laney, pleasure to meet you. Lily, same here. Clyde, my name is Clyde McBride. Jessie, it's a pleasure to meet you all. Me, how did you wind up here in Michigan? Jessie, I'm in Michigan. I'm supposed to be with my dad, Dr. Quest, and my friends in Columbia. Me, Dr. Benton Quest, the world-famous inventor? Jessie, that's him. Very, I've heard a lot about his scientific achievements. Me too. Laney, what's that medallion you have there, Jessie? Jessie, oh this? I found it on a dig in some ruins in Colombia. Me, I recognize the symbol on it. It's Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent in Mayan mythology. Jessie, yes. 2 men were after it and they chased me and I lost them and I met you guys. Me, we're just lucky we heard you call out. Jessie, yes. I owe you all my life. Me, a life is never owed when saved out of friendship. Jessie, thank you all. Laney, how did you form that vine rope? Laney, oh, I have plant powers because of a special circumstance. Clyde, Laney got her powers from the diamond of Gaia. Me, it's a special mystical diamond that can bestow plant powers, the ability to talk to animals and fly to a person who is pure of heart. Jessie, wow. That's amazing. Me, I don't know how you got here, but we got to find out and call Dr. Quest. But first we got to get out of this forest. Let's go. Me, Very, Laney, Lily, Jessie and the boys come across a rock they can't move. Clyde, how are we gonna move this bad boy? Lincoln starts thinking of a solution. Flashback to a Lynn and Lincoln moment, as the latter struggles to move a trash can and makes struggling noises as Lynn comes into the scene. Lynn, step aside, I got this. Spits on her hands and rubs them together, proceeding to grab the trash can. You gotta lift with your legs, not your back. You see. Throws the trash can out and hits her dad in the process. Lynn Sr., ow. Flashback to the present as Lincoln and Clyde move the rock out of the way. Me, lift with your legs. Never you're back. We keep running and we come across a log going across a cliff and me, Very, Laney and Lily fly over to the other side of the cliff. Clyde, comes across a log over a cliff and tries to cross it. Whoa. Loses his balance and hugs the log to prevent himself from falling off while Lincoln tries to think of another plan. Flashback to Lola and Lincoln moment as the former practices her catwalk as she curtsies her dress in her high heels while having 3 books on her head. Lincoln, how do you balance in those? Lola, eyes forward. Chin up. 2C clenched. Grunts after showing a balance method. Back to present where the boys are walking across the log safely. Clyde, good tip, Lincoln. It really works. As he walks along the log smiling and waving. Jesse runs across the log with very little problems. Me, you're fast Jesse. Jesse, I know. Lincoln, I don't think you have to do the wave, Clyde. Clyde shrugs, air kisses, and takes off behind Lincoln. We run through the woods until they arrive safely at the B&B. Me, we made it. Lincoln, Clyde, we did it. We made it back. Falls to the grass and sighs in relief. Laney, thank goodness. Clyde, I'm pooped. I'm just gonna sit down, and wait for my dads on this nice soft rock. Lincoln and Clyde remember their experiences with soft rocks and panic as Clyde jumps into Lincoln's arms as they realize. Clyde, oh, this one's really just a rock. Me, to Jesse we had some run-ins with a moose, a beehive and a bear and we thought they were rocks. Jesse, that's rough. How did you guys know what to do? Very, we had to retrace our steps and overcome the obstacles with the help of everything Lincoln learned from his sisters. Jesse, good thinking. Me, Very, Lincoln, Laney, Lily and Jesse were over in Lisa's room and we explained what went down. Lisa, it was a portal from another dimension that teleported you here, Jesse. Jesse, I'm in another dimension? Lisa, exactly. Me, a trans-dimensional portal took her here? Lisa, precisely. Jesse was teleported here from another dimension through a trans-dimensional portal from Columbia in her dimension to ours. Lincoln, that is very strange. Me, I've read a lot about parallel universes, dimensions beyond all of time and space and all that. Very, how are we gonna get her back to her own dimension? Lisa, that's the problem. It could be any one of them. There's an infinite number of dimensions across the fabric of time and space and she could have come from any one of them. Me, that's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. A haystack that's as big as an infinite number of universes put together. Lisa, precisely. Lily, that is really complex for me. Laney, so Jesse is gonna be stuck here? Lisa, unfortunately yes. Jesse, voice breaking, I'll never see my family again. She starts crying and Lincoln comforts her. Lincoln, it's not the end of the world Jesse. You already have friends here in this dimension. Me, yeah. Very, we're your friends and we will do everything we can in our power to help you. Jesse, calms down you will? Lily, sure. Laney, that's what friends do. Me, we will be there to help. Laney takes Jesse's hands. Laney, we will never give up on you and we will help you in any way we can. Jesse, thank you all. Thank you. Scene changes to the Loud house at night. Jesse was taken in by the Loud family. Lincoln, working on muffins. To the viewers, I thought spending so much time around my sisters was a problem, when actually it's just the opposite. If it wasn't for them we'd probably be moose meal by now. Walking in the living room towards me, Very, Woody, Ed, Double D, Eddie, Jesse and his sisters. And now that I don't have to worry about what's manly or girly or any of that junk, I can go back to enjoying this. Offers muffins to his sisters and dad, me, Very, Jesse, Woody, Ed, Double D and Eddie. Who wants strawberry muffins? Me, Very, Woody, Jessie, Ed, Double D, Eddie, Loud sisters and their dad all say I do multiple times as we completely clean up the tray. They proceed to start eating the muffins as Lincoln sits in between them to watch Dreamboat. He embraces Lenny's legs, Lola hugs him and his dad rubs his hair. Me, you make really good muffins, buddy. Very, delicious. Woody, mmm. You make delicious muffins, pal. Ed, yum. Ed, I concur. These muffins are sure tasty. Eddie, these are delicious, Lincoln. Jessie, very tasty. Lincoln, thanks guys. Oh Blaine, please tell me you're not wearing clogs. Woody does his trademark laugh. The end. Another fanfiction completed. I wanted to add a scenario from one of my books and from one of my favorite TV shows from the past. It was Hanna-Barbera's The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, episode, The Mummies of Malink. One of my favorite episodes of that show. I've known it ever since I was a kid. Until next time. JD signing off. The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest and Jessie Bannon are owned by Hanna-Barbera and Cartoon Network. Chapter 30, Laney's Revenge. It starts out at Royal Woods Elementary School in the cafeteria. Me, Very, Woody, Ed, Double D, Eddie, Lincoln, Ronnie Ann, Lucy, Laney, Lana and Lola, Lisa and Lily are having lunch when a boombox starts playing. Into the cafeteria comes none other than Chandler Henderson, mine, Lincoln's and the Loud's arch nemesis. Me, menacing Chandler. I hate that freak. Very, me too. Woody, that guy makes kids everywhere look bad. Ed, he is so stupid. Eddie, you got that right, Lumpy. Laney, oh no. Chandler walks up to them. Chandler, hey KD. Me, it's JD, for your information. Chandler, I see you have Larry and Scarfy with you. Lincoln, my name is Lincoln. I notice something involving Laney and Chandler. Flashback to when Lincoln's sisters came into his room when he was being harassed by Ronnie Ann. Lenny, I bet it was the same jerk who bullied Laney. Flashback ends. Me, so you're the one that's been bullying Laney. Chandler, proudly so what if I am? Me, you just bought yourself a one-way ticket to Hurtville. Lola, you've been picking on Laney. Lana, you filthy little parasite. Lucy, Lola and Lana, Lisa and Lily pounced on him and pulverized him. Me, Laney, how would you like to get your revenge on Chandler? Laney, I'm not going to fight him. Very, Laney, he's tormented you a lot. You're not gonna take that anymore, are you? Laney has flashbacks of all the torment she had to endure at the hands of Chandler and her face turned red with blazing rage and hatred. Laney, furious, let me at him. Laney walked around the table and Lucy, Lana and Lola, Lisa and Lily stopped fighting. Laney, I've had it with you, Chandler. You've tormented me for the last time and I will have my revenge. Lincoln, go get him, Laney. Everyone in the lunchroom gathered around them and chanted fight. Laney takes her scarf off, revealing her scar on her neck, and she ties the scarf around her waist. Laney, it's payback time. Chandler gets up. Chandler, so you've finally decided to face me like a tough girl. Well, I bet you can't land a first punch. Laney punched Chandler in the face and kicked him in the stomach, punched him in the mouth and knocked out some of his teeth. Laney bit his fingers, kicked him where the sun doesn't shine and punched him right in the nose. Laney, that was all for me. You've tormented my life for the last time. I'm not afraid of you anymore. You used my brother for your own selfish purposes, used and manipulated people into doing your bidding, all for your own sick ways. You nearly got a lot of kids poisoned at the sewer plant, the list goes on. Chandler got up and then he started laughing psychotically. Chandler, and I'm glad I did all that. I don't care about anyone. All that was too much fun. It was all part of my plan to get rid of the school once and for all. Me, what do you mean by that? Chandler, I am so sick of the same old thing all the time and I needed some excitement. Everything was going smoothly until you came, JD. Me, how am I part of your insane scheme? Chandler, my birthday was at the sewage plant because I wanted to poison as many kids as possible. Everyone gasped. Lincoln, thank goodness me and Clyde didn't go. Very, you tried to poison some of our friends. Chandler, yes. When that didn't work, I decided to have a celebration at the nuclear power plant. But you stopped it, JD. Me, that would have caused gamma radiation poisoning. Chandler, my grand master plan was nearing completion until now. I was to trick Professor Thompson into doing it as a scapegoat, but you were onto me and I was about to burn down this whole school and frame you and Lincoln for the crime. Everyone gasped. Me, you're a monster, Chandler. People like you belong in a mental hospital. Principal Wilbur Huggins then came in. Principal Huggins, I agree with you on that, JD. I heard everything. Chandler Henderson, you are hereby expelled from Royal Woods Elementary. Everyone cheered and picked me, Very, Woody, Ed, Double D, Eddie, Ronnie Ann, Lincoln and his sisters up and we were all treated like heroes. Chandler was arrested and put in a straitjacket, placed on a gurney in restraints and headed for the Kalamazoo Regional Psychiatric Hospital in Northville, Michigan. Scene change to the Loud House. Me, Very, Woody, Jesse, the EDS, Bobby, Ronnie and Lincoln and his sisters, Lynn Sr., Rita, and Maria are watching the news on TV. News reporter, in other news, Chandler Henderson, local former student of Royal Woods Elementary was arrested for attempted arson, attempted first-degree murder, first-class conspiracy and attempted terrorism. He was expelled from the school and sent to the Kalamazoo Regional Psychiatric Hospital where he'll remain for the rest of his life. Local residents James Knudsen, Very Knudsen, Woody Woodpecker, Ed and Eddie, Ronnie and Santiago, Lincoln Loud and his little sisters Lucy, Laney, Lana and Lola, Lisa and Lily Loud are being hailed as heroes for their brave and courageous actions and saving a local school from a terroristic plot. Principal Wilbur Huggins tells us that Chandler is a complete danger to everyone around him and himself and is now declared a violent psychopath and is extremely dangerous. Lori, Lenny, Luna, Luin, and Lynn cheered. Lynn Sr., wow. Way to go, guys. Me, thanks Mr. Lynn. But the real hero is Laney. She finally got the courage to stand up to Chandler and put an end to his insane plans. Laney, I had a little help. Thank you, JD. I owe you and Very one. Very, no problem, Laney. Lori, how did you all know the school and kids were in danger? Me, we didn't. Lucky guess, I suppose. Very, I guess you figure some things out as you go along. Laney, we're lucky we figured it out before lots of people got hurt. Rita, that's good. I can't believe that kid. Me, I hope Chandler has a nice long life in a maximum security padded cell. Lily, yeah. He's a menace to society. Scene changes to the Kalamazoo Hospital. Chandler was locked in a super maximum security padded cell. On his cell door were a bunch of evil symbols and more. These were his marks of eternal torture and an automatic eternity of torture and suffering in the netherworld. His cell was to be kept under constant guard 24/7 because he is too extremely dangerous to be let out among the other patients. He was laughing, ranting, and raving like a complete and total homicidal maniac. Chandler, psychotic laughter. I will destroy everyone and get my revenge. Especially you, Laney. Guard 1, shut up in there. The end. Another fanfiction complete. To be honest, I don't like Chandler. He is evil in its purest form and I have a feeling that something is wrong with him in the show. I wanted to add the star of Satan and symbols of evil, but it would not be right. But nonetheless, this story probably gives us a clear view into the mind of a dangerous psychopathic insane patient. I got the idea for this story from Samtastic 3.0's Burning Secret and it became my source inspiration for this. This is JD signing off.